$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Ring in the relaxation this new year at Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. Introductory pricing starts at $79.95. Restore, relax, and reset at any one of the 8 Seattle area Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations, or search for the location nearest you and book online. Restrictions apply. See spa for more details.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3728. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, and you, Hardeman Drew. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, a Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. All right, here we go. Friendly's Restaurant does you a solid with new items on its happy ending menu. Meanwhile, a Brazilian bodybuilder is dead at age 55 after injecting himself with goo. Man uses Kevin Deere's hemorrhoid cream to break out of jail. Man swimming in ocean stumbles upon something birthed from the ass of Dale. And a survey says do not rub one out if you're in a car in Australia. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
All the bitches, good day to you and yours.
All right, imagine being a trained pilot, right? But the plane that you're flying experiences a mechanical failure. Now, I don't care how much training you have to be thinking to yourself, I cannot believe this is happening. Now, that was the case for a pilot of a turboprop in North Carolina. Good news, he managed to keep his cool. He ended up making a hard landing. His co-pilot, well, let's just say he didn't keep his cool so much. I don't want to say that he panicked, but he did jump out of the plane while it was still in the air. The difference for him and the guy that stayed on the plane didn't end well for the co-pilot. The pilot managed to bring the plane down. Other guy panicked. Out the door he went. Just that simple. Either way, I got to think the pilot is thinking, you have got to be kidding me. I cannot believe I'm dealing with this. Now, we continue from there. Everyone has found themselves in a situation that's just too crazy to believe, right? Now, sure, I've kidnapped someone. I already found that unbelievable because I was drunk and didn't realize the guy was in my closet. Fell up in my closet. But here's the thing. I have to think that the guy kidnapped was even more terrified. Well, so was the guy in Florida when he was kidnapped at gunpoint by 3 assailants. Now, the good news is that they were too lazy to drive themselves, so they made him drive his car. The idea was he was going to drive them 2 hours away. So what did he do? He intentionally got pulled over, tipped the cops off to what was going on, and got the guys arrested. It probably saved his life. But not every unbelievable situation is bad, all right? A guy in Vegas, he made a $5 side bet while he was playing poker. in return for his $5. Well, he won $1 million in return. Not a bad day's work. And look, we have a ton more stories of unbelievable situations. We want to hear your take of the holy crap, I can't believe I'm in this moment. It could be good, it could be bad, but either way, you're thinking to yourself, I cannot believe this is happening. And that's what today's question is. What's the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of?
Be a part of the Big Show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
At Seattle Credit Union, we believe in our communities and the people we serve. The path to U.S. citizenship can be expensive, which is why we offer citizenship loans to cover the costs associated with this process. We also offer a fee-based alternative for each citizen loan type for people who would prefer not to pay any interest. Visit seattlecu.com to learn more, or give us a call at 855-575-9352 to speak with a friendly loan expert to get started today. Seattle Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
At Valentine Roofing, we love our customers, and our customers love the service they receive. That's probably why we've won several awards, including the Angie Super Service Award, Next Door Neighborhood Favorite Award, and the Howe's Best of Service Award. From roof cleaning, gutter installation, to roof replacement, our promise to excellent customer service begins with the very first phone call. This Valentine's Day, we want to return the love with a free material warranty upgrade and priority scheduling based on your schedule. Go to ValentineRoof.com and enter promo code LOVEMyRoof.
Pipes, camera, action. When Jones Plumbing started to back up, she knew she had a big problem. That's when she called Spartan Plumbing. They arrived on time and showed her a dirty movie of her sewer. Spartan Plumbing knew what had to be done, explained everything, and worked tirelessly to clear the clog. For all your plumbing needs, call Spartan Plumbing, 253-306-0309 or SpartanPlumbingInc.com. Free dirty movies with sewer inspection.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with this CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
As she's leaving for the couch, taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hold up, fellas, away we go. Welcome to Season 17, episode number 3,728. What a large and a charge program we have for you today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. A guaranteed future repeat. Once again, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, I don't know how you do it, but you find 3 stories in the news of people doing awful things.
Yeah.
Hit them all up against each other. We determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. How are we looking this week?
Let's just say all 3 stories revolve around relationships.
Yeah.
Right? That person you love.
All right.
Or maybe you don't.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
All right. Oh, by the way, more Men's Room coming up today exclusively on the Odyssey app. Please join us if you have not yet for the Men's Room Happy Hour. Here's what you do. You download the Odyssey app, which is incredibly user-friendly. Then you search for the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. You favorite that, and then we go live every day for more Men's Room at 6 o'clock. It's explicit, so we hope that you don't have children in the car or, listen with the appropriate people around.
Correct.
Just knowing that we are not under the same rules that we are here on the KISW airwaves. Also keep in mind that today will be an abbreviated version. Normally we're here for about 2 or 3 hours. Tonight, only a few minutes because we're going to head on down to Elysian Fields.
Correct.
Get ready for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're playing down at T-Mobile. So big night for us. I believe Ryan Castle and others will be at Elysian starting at 5. Stop in if you haven't got a Men's Room.
He'll be there at 3.
Men's Room Original Ale yet. Get a couple of those on tap before you head over to the show. We'll get down there as soon as we can. Basically, we're going to take off and head straight down. So hopefully we'll see you down there soon. And today on the question, we're going to talk about crazy situations that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of. We'll start with a story about the pilot that exited the aircraft. Now, when this story first came out, I thought to myself, did this guy decide to end it on his own? You never know. I didn't know what the deal was. I wasn't sure of...
I believe it's panic. I mean, the details are kind of sparse.
I do too.
But yeah, I think he was just like, I'm going to take my chance. Because the plane's failing, and apparently it's the kind of plane, has the cargo bay in the back. They train a lot of Army jumpers.
Okay.
So I think he lowered the bag.
And figured, look, I have
but
a
without
chance
the parachute.
Look, people jumped out of the Hindenburg and lived. And it was on fire, and they were 50, 60 feet in the air.
50 or 60 feet, right.
Right. This guy was higher. I think he looked out and said, I can make it, and then didn't realize that he was pretty high up there. While it's still unknown what caused the co-pilot to exit the turboprop plane and fall to his death, a firmer picture of the timeline is emerging. It remains a confusing picture. The News and Observer used FAA records to piece together the following series of events. The plane leaves the Rayford, North Carolina airport around 1:10 with Charles Hugh Crooks, 23, and the second unnamed pilot on board. About 20 minutes later, the plane started circling Rayford West Airport, and then it experienced a hard landing on a dirt military runway near the airport. The plane aborted the landing, and one of the men aboard told air traffic control, "We were attempting to land, made contact with the ground, had a hard landing, and decided to go around. And at that point, we lost the right wheel." The caller requested permission to land at Raleigh-Durham International Airport and told the air controller that they would try to land on the plane's belly. The plane was about at 3,850 feet when it flew over the area where Crook's body was found around 2:30 in the afternoon. The plane landed about 20 minutes later in Raleigh with only one pilot aboard. The plane in question featured a rear loading ramp, as you said, that can be opened during flight, making it ideal for parachute jumping. Plane was tied to Rampart Aviation. They do provide parachute training, among other things.
You need the parachute.
For certain U.S. military units. Crook's father spoke to WRAL in the wake of his kid's death. He's described him as passionate about flying. He pursued his private pilot license when he was in college. I think he got that when he was a sophomore. He added that his son had since worked as a flight instructor and was certified to fly in almost all conditions. He said a couple of weeks ago he wouldn't trade places with anybody in the world. He loved where he was at. I cannot imagine what happened. I don't know. We can't process it all right now. But he jumped from pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, look, I know something's going wrong with the plane. And again, I don't care who you are. It's just not a situation you want to be in. You can't believe it's happening, but, you're trained to keep your cool. If nothing else, and try to pull a Sully. I understand you're going to... Look, I was on a plane once, and this was just a little puddle jumper flying into a very small airport in Elmira, New York. And I knew there was a lot of turbulence. I did not know that the turbulence was panic-worthy. And there's only 3 of us on this entire flight. There's me, there's my wife, and there's a guy sitting across the aisle from me. That's it, right? Real small flight. And like I said, I know the turbulence.
Into Elmira.
Into Elmira.
You're kidding me. So it wasn't just...
Can you believe it?
There's no festivals going on. No festivals going on.
There were 3 of us, which I believe they call a fully booked trip when it comes to Elmira. Right. So, and I knew there was turbulence, planes bouncing around. They do the, hey, man, you got to put on a seatbelt, this bag kind of thing. Fine, no problem. Well, on these tiny-ass planes, the flight attendant seat faces the cabin, right? So when they take a seat, you're basically face to face. So the guy, it's just one dude who's a flight attendant, and the plane's shaking, it's doing... And again, I'm staying fairly calm through this. My wife's getting a little nauseated, which I understand. She was pregnant at the time. Guy across from me, we would trade looks every once in a while, but he, too, looked dead calm, like, turbulence is turbulence, what can you do? The flight attendant, meanwhile, because now we're coming in, we're making our final descent, as they say. We had circled the airport like 7 times. Just because the turbulence was so bad, they couldn't right the plane to land it properly. And they told us that. And said, take your time. Still not sweating this. Well, the flight attendant, he comes running up, sits down in the seat, buckles himself in, closes his eyes, crosses himself, and starts saying a silent prayer. Well, now, me and the guy sitting across from me, we're looking at each other like, should we panic? Because the trained professional has turned ghost white. And the whole time his eyes are squeezed shut, and he's saying this prayer over and over. And I'm like, I think we're going to die. Yeah, because this guy, the indication, like when the professionals are scared, like, be scared. And we landed fine, obviously. But after we get out of the plane, my father-in-law goes, I'm glad you guys made it. I'm like, what the? So from the outside looking up, apparently, the plane was shaking so bad. He's like, you guys are going wing to wing. Sure. Like doing 180. I said, man, I had no sense of that on the plane. But the goddamn flight attendant, I'm pointing at the guy now because he'd gotten off. I'm like, He's crossing himself and praying. I'm like, then I'm silently freaking out. Like, I'm about to die.
I mean, I think that's the simple reaction when you see somebody that flies every day for a living.
That's what I'm saying.
Taking the sign of the cross.
Because you've been through turbulence, bro. It's just part of your job. So, like, if you're crossing yourself, I'm like, oh, my God. It doesn't feel that bad, but I guess it is. I mean, it's weird. You try to make peace. Like, oh, man, I don't think I was going to die, but this guy seems to think we're going to die. So if I'm going to die, I hope I'm good.
Probably. And, like, the thing is, like, planes, like, I don't think people realize how bad turbulence gets.
Oh, it's horrible. I mean, you see the videos.
Yeah, like I had a friend, she was a flight attendant, and she was like, that's the big, like one of the bigger, like, industry secrets is like, there's sometimes it is awful.
Oh, yeah. And you just get sick. I had a situation where I was on a charter flight, but it was a larger plane out of Baltimore, and it was headed to the Dominican Republic. And this was right when the Dominican Republic started its tourism, for the most part.
Okay.
It started to boom. People were going to Punta Cana. And there was another town called La Romana, which was a smaller town in the southern part of the island. So that's where I booked my vacation at an all-inclusive place. One of those places where you pay a flat fee, you can drink and eat all you want all week. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. So, and it was actually a pretty affordable vacation at the time because nobody was going to do it.
Right.
What I did not know was the airport that they were using was an old private airport that they used for a small golf course. It's actually a very good golf course, but it's a golf course on the water. But it's a private field for people who are flying in there. It's a private strip, right?
Right.
We're on a charter aircraft. So to give you an idea, the runway is not nearly big enough. But they can land them. They can do it.
Right, you can.
This is not United, by the way. It's a charter flight. This flight is a white plane. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of tourists on this thing going down there, like travel agencies used to do. So we're on it, man. We're in this huge thunderstorm. And the pilot comes down, and I mean, it looked like we were touching down on rocks. And the plane is wobbling. And I mean, he hit the beginning of the runway. It seemed like 10 feet away.
Right.
Because that's all he's got. Now, he's screaming on the brakes. It's like, and you're being thrown in the front of the seat. And we're hydroplaning. And one wheel's
feel that when you're on the...
God. One wheel's going up, the other wheel's going up side to side. It feels like the wings bouncing off the ground. Right. And finally, you just hear him screaming on the brakes. And I'm looking out the window, and it's pouring down rain. And finally, we get to and you just see these big white strips of paint.
Yeah.
And we've stopped at the end of the runway. And he cracks the mic, and he goes, and he had this Texas accent. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to La Romana, where any landing is a good landing. We're going to have to wait here for a minute for one of the gentlemen to push us back out away from the end of the runway, because there's no reverse on an airplane. So they had to do a 3-point turn with a guy who pushes you out of the gate. They'd come and get us at the end of the runway and push us out. And then what I also didn't realize is that it's just not equipped for that type of plane. Again, it's pouring down rain. The rain is coming sideways. It's almost like we're in a hurricane. They bring the steps like the president walks up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to, and it's raining, and these steps are steep. Like they really are. Like, they don't look like much. But when you get out there, you're like, oh, God, this is a long way. It's like 2 flights of steps. Right. And it's pouring down rain, and then you got to walk like, I don't know, 100 feet, 100 yards to a door that's open. It's just like, okay, this is going to be good times.
Do you remember LaGuardia Airport before they extended the runways in New York City, all right? One of the runways notorious, I want to say it emptied into the Hudson.
Correct.
And like 2 or 3 planes a year. All right, people would survive, but it's just, you come up with this landing. The runway was shorter than your average commercial airport runway, but it's not like you just pull up and take off again. So these guys would land their planes, and they're jamming on the brakes, and they would show it on the news and go off the edge of the runway, land in the river. And they'd have to do a quick rescue. And again, the people were fine because it only dropped like 30 feet or so.
Right.
But they finally extended the runway because pilots are like, we're not flying there anymore, man. Or if you had to take off from that runway. That was another problem, right? Because these things, they tried to get up to speed, but there's not enough runway to do it. And these things, they would like basically belly skip off of the frickin' river and then take off. And passengers are like, we will not fly out of LaGuardia anymore.
Dude, Midway in Chicago is pretty scary too.
Is it that bad?
Like the old airport?
I've never flown into that one.
It's just in the middle of like a neighborhood. So you basically just get like, you're used to like the descent goes nice and easy.
Yeah.
But you get to a certain height and you just have to stay there and then kind of just drop.
They do that at John Wayne. outside of Los Angeles. It's the same thing. They drop you out.
It's so crowded. Yeah.
Same with Montego Bay in Jamaica. You're just up there for a minute, all of a sudden, like, you're like, oh my God. What is the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
The way Mike nodded his head about Midway, I'm like, Southwest? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, well, myself.
John Wayne's the same way. You feel like your rocket just going into
take
space,
off,
going into space. Because they're trying to keep the noise out of the neighborhoods. And they don't want, the structural damages to the house and lawsuits. And
what was there first?
They just pull the
neighborhoods of the airport. People move next to airports and bitch about the noise, and you're like, look, man, I'm not saying it's quiet, but you had to know there was an airport right there.
Well, the other thing I should say about Midway is that I'm in high school traveling with the Matha, right, with the basketball team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't flown that much in my life. So you're already scared. And then as soon as we get in, and like the gate agents are like, King is going to whoop your butt.
Oh,
we're
damn.
Like, what? I mean, everybody's chirping at us in the airport. The baggage handlers are like, oh, welcome to Chicago. You can find out. We were like, we got to get the F out of this airport. Like, I think we're going to get jumped.
By TSA.
For the record, we beat King.
Ah, there you go.
What's the craziest situation you can't believe you or someone else is a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Russell. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
Hola. Hey, I was dating this girl back in 97, and she had a couple of kids, and that's nothing to do with it. And I found out later that I didn't know about her. She was a dominatrix.
Oh, how did you find out?
Well, we were laying in bed one night, and she had fuzzy handcuffs, and she had all that kind of stuff. And she looks at me, she says, hey, baby, you ever been spanked? I said, spanked? I said, I don't know. She says, I got a little something for you. So we're laying in bed. She goes in the bathroom, and she comes back out, and she's dressed in the full leather with the dog collars, and she has a whip in one hand and a paddle in the other.
Now, what are you thinking at this moment? Like, I'm in, or this is going to hurt, or I don't care? Like, what is going through your head?
Are you already handcuffed to the bed at this point?
Yeah, she handcuffed her with some little fuzzy handcuffs, the Playboy type ones. And I was kind of into it, but I was like in my 30s, just gotten out of the military, and one of the girls I was first dating. And I was kind of into it, and she says, well, when she came out in all that leather, she says, well, roll over. And, we were both naked. And she takes this paddle and smacks me on the butt. And I said, oh, hell no.
Right, that was it?
Oh, I couldn't. Man, once she hit me with that paddle, I was not into it.
Is that because it hurt that bad?
Oh, yeah.
That's because you got hit by a paddle.
Yeah.
You don't think you can fight through that? It's like when you get a tattoo, like on your ribs. Like, my first thought is, oh, no. But then you go, you know what? I'm going to deal with this pain. The endorphins kind of kick in, and you get through. The difference is, when I get my ribs tattooed, I'm not also having sex. You know what I'm saying? So, to me...
Yeah, if you're laying on your stomach.
I mean, I just feel like I would take the pain if it's going to lead to something good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people that like if you like getting hit by a dominatrix, like, you like it. It's part of it.
Sure.
Like, I think I'm with him. I'm just like, oh, man, that just hurts.
I mean, so was it one hit and you were out?
Yeah, because it scared me. I'd never been in that situation.
I understand. I would be more concerned about the whip. The whip would be the thing that would really bother me, because that will break skin.
She was holding that in the other hand, and I'm like, oh, no. Yeah. No.
Yeah, right. It feels like that's the smack on the butt is just like the opening to Pandora's box. Like, he's going to get dominated.
Now, did she try to encourage you to hang in there, or did she immediately uncuff you from her fuzzy handcuffs?
Yeah, she tried to encourage me, but I said no. No. I'm not into that.
It's almost like a couple times at the strip club where I've seen the Bachelor get up on stage.
Oh, Jesus.
And they do that Bachelor thing. What the hell?
They just beat the crap out of
them. They basically just beat, and I've seen it like 2 or 3 times. I've been in strip clubs where that's happened, where somebody in a party, they're like, oh, they're really just absolutely giving it to this guy.
Dude, me and my buddy were walking by a camp, and this guy's there, and he's getting paddled by this girl, but he's like, harder. So she looks at my buddy, because the guy is strapped in, right? So he can't see behind him. And she's like, so my buddy takes the paddle, winds up, and just goes off on this guy. And he just goes, damn, girl.
What's a crazy situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
Be ready for the handoff with Heritage Distilling's canned cocktails. Real cocktails made with real spirits. Drop the hard seltzers made by Big Beer on the East Coast with their fake flavors, fake sweeteners, and after-game bloating.
Ew.
Real cocktails can only be made with real spirits. Heritage Distilling's canned cocktails. Locally made, locally loved, and award-winning. Available at local retailers and heritagedistilling.com. 6.9% ABV, Gig Harbor, Washington.
What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate. Then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
After Susan was diagnosed with lymphoma, she discovered the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's free patient support services and a way to give back while staying active. Susan and friends now participate in the Team in Training Resilience Challenge every year, a friendly competition for both fundraising and miles. This April, Susan celebrates 17 years cancer-free. Join Susan and test your resilience at lls.org/resilience. That's lls.org/resilience.
Wendy's home-style French toast sticks are so sweet and crispy, some are saying they're better than Mom's breakfast.
Did you say Wendy's French toast sticks are better than mine?
No, Mom. Some people are saying that. Not me, even if I am thinking it. Choose Wendy's home-style French toast sticks.
Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, what is the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Nick. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hola. We're doing well, my friend.
Right on, right on. All right, so I got a doozy. We'll try and make it a quick version before I go pick up a sixer. But, so, let me just lay it on down for you. When I was 16, I did my very first skydive ever. This was back when the United States Parachute Association would let 16-year-olds do it with parental consent and a waiver. And we went out instructor-aided deployment. It's kind of like static line. It's how the U.S. military has been teaching people to dive from airplanes since the 1940s.
All right.
All right. I get out of this airplane. I snagged a riser group. It's not going to matter to you guys. Just imagine a big spinny catastrophe, all right? So I go to deploy my emergency procedures. I chop my main, and I deploy my reserve just like I've done 1,000 times before in the hanging harness in the years that I've been hanging out at the drop zone as a DZ kid. Well, that didn't quite go according to plan. The main did not leave my body. One side did, but the other side did not. And so what that does, it creates a streamer, which reduces your wind resistance and actually speeds you up.
Oh, good. That's exactly what you want.
Right. I was going about 180 miles an hour straight down, you know.
Now, how does that do, how does that do for your body as far as decompressing? You know what I mean?
Well,
your ears pop and everything. Does that affect,
I didn't notice it the one time I jumped.
We're only going from $3,000.
Okay.
So you don't really have to worry about the pressurization so much.
But you also don't have a whole lot of time.
Oh, no. And in fact, I had even less than I had anticipated at this point. And so I look down to figure out where I'm going to impact. And I see my mom, my dad, my little sister, who's 13 at the time, my mom's friend, her husband, and her son, who was 10 at the time. And I realized I'm about to traumatize these children. My reserve is in its free bag. The pilot chute is entangled in main. And I got no more handles, no more options, and no nylon in the wind. Well, not how I wanted it. And so instead of traumatizing these children, my last-ditch effort, my last opportunity to use my body, in my mind, I climbed up to the parachute. But in reality, I drug the parachute down to me.
Right.
I saw the free bag. It was just within arm's reach. and I just started wailing on this thing, just beating the hell out of it, because to me, this thing had betrayed me. Well, about the third time I punched it, it shot clear of the entanglement, and then just kaboom, parachute out in the wind. Big, beautiful blue reserve. I was at 800 feet.
Damn. Now, let me ask you this. Did your family recognize that you were in distress, or did they just think maybe you were showing up? Oh, really?
Absolutely. Yes. My mom's friend's husband, Jerry, was there with a telephoto lens, and when you look through the camera roll, there's the exit, there's the entanglement, and then he stopped shooting.
Oh.
And then he started shooting once the reserve was out, because he knew what he was looking at. Everybody knew what they were looking at. My mom met my dad at the drop zone back in the 70s. You know, I'm a product of the sport.
Okay, so they definitely recognize what's going on. It's amazing to me, and look, I know I'm a selfish guy. I got no problem saying this, that you're thinking, oh, man, I don't want to traumatize these poor kids. No offense, my thought is, F the kids, I'm not trying to die today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the thought occurred, but honestly, when I realized I had no handles and no options, there was a wave of calm when I realized there was almost nothing I could do.
Did you see video of the paraglider in Spain that TMZ put on?
Oh, God, yeah. So it looked similar to that. Okay. Except for I wasn't wrapped up in it that bad.
Okay. He was probably, 100 feet off the ground?
From the video, yeah, probably. Line stretch on those reserves, I mean, they're fairly short. I'd say between 100 and 80 feet when he actually got expansion on his canopy.
How much poop do you think was in his little flight suit by the time he landed?
About 2 pounds.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's you. I've seen that happen to my buddy. Almost the exact same thing too. Doing acrobatics, you take the weight off the wing, it goes unstable, and yeah, we thought we were watching him die. And same thing, dude. Parachute out, touches the ground.
So how many jumps do you have in your lifetime so far?
I stopped counting after 600.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you still go out and do it?
Yeah, from time to time. Not so much recently. It was my other job. I was a coach and a packer. I just live in my van behind Skydive Chelan sometimes and just DZ dirtbag it up.
What is the secret to folding a parachute?
There's actually 3 rules that I teach my students, and that is your slider's up, your brakes are set, and your lines are straight. You got those things covered, you could essentially throw it in a brown paper bag and just dump it out of the airplane, and it'll work.
You ever land on a rattlesnake?
Negative.
Okay.
What was
Best
worse?
I can do for you is a dirt devil.
What was worse? Like, your chute not opening and think you might die, or seeing your buddy struggle and being like, oh, man, I'm going to watch him die?
Definitely the buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it happen to a few where it doesn't end up so well, and
yeah, I was going to say, how many tragedies have you seen in over 600 jumps?
Actually, the tragedies don't really occur when I'm jumping. They normally occur when I take weekends off. In my lifetime, there have been several plane crashes.
Jeez.
I've lost half a dozen friends on base jumps, couple speed flying.
Have you done a base jump yourself?
No, the fatality rate in base jumping is 1 in 60.
Yeah, I mean,
I know a lot of old skydivers. I don't know a lot of old base jumpers, so I'm in no rush to do that.
Are you still living in Chelan, where you said you were?
Oh, no. I had to, when the world kind of went
south.
Sideways on us. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a radio-friendly way to say it. I had to kind of get my S together and get a real job.
Abandon my freeform lifestyle. Damn you, pandemic.
Yeah.
That would piss me. If my gig is doing something in that kind of sense, man. Like,
now I got to get a real goddamn job?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it really took the wind out of my sails, brother.
Well, Phil, we got to keep our fake jobs. I mean, I don't know if you call this a real job, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's just like a place we got to show up, but we got to do what we like. But, hey, at least we still get to do it.
What is the craziest situation that you can't believe that you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, boys.
Hola.
So, I'll make it somewhat short. So, 2010, I was in Afghanistan doing route clearance. We were looking for IEDs. Out in the deserts down in southern Afghanistan, we got tasked for picking up a Marine truck that got blown up. So, we're out there picking up pieces from this truck, walking through the blast hole. We always thought that would be the safe spot to walk through since something already blew up there. Me and my 3 buddies carrying a heavy piece of metal, and I walked through the blast hole, and then I heard a click.
Oh.
So we all froze. We all looked at each other. I said, I love you guys. Everybody said, I love you back. On the count of 3, I nodded my head in a direction and said, we're walking that way. I counted to 1, 2, took a small little pause, and then 3. Stepped off the IED. Nothing went boom, which is obviously good. Sat back, smoked a cigarette real quick, dug up where I heard the click. Turned out to be the pressure plate of the IED that the truck hit that we were picking up.
Ah, okay. Jesus Christ, man.
My heart's racing listening to
I know.
that story.
Let me ask you this. Were you a smoker before that?
Oh, yeah, big time. I started smoking actually when I was in Iraq in 06, 07.
Yeah, I can believe that, dude. Yeah. It's, man, oh, man. I would think even non-smokers are like, bro, give me a cigarette.
That's crazy.
It's right. If you're a smoker, that is the first thing you want. I mean, I've never had a situation like that.
I still just want one after dinner.
Yeah, I know, but like, you know what? And actually, if I'm him, like, fellas, even before we get to 3, if it's all the same, let me smoke a cigarette before I even start the count.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once I hear a click, like, dude, look, I'm going to light a cigarette, do what you got to do, but I'm smoking this first. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in Chelan snowboarding, almost dying. And when we got back to the house, I was like, somebody give me a lighter. I'm going up back, smoke a bowl.
Would you almost go over a cliff?
Yes.
How close were you?
Well, luckily the sled had ejected me, but the sled itself was halfway off the cliff.
Jesus.
Upside down.
Oh, you mean snowmobiling?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Snowboarding.
Snowmobiling. Excuse me. Snowmobiling. Yeah, but same thing. When we got back to the cabin, I was like, somebody give me a lighter. I'm going to smoke some weed. But I was still so scared. Like, my hand was shaking.
You couldn't even light the bowl.
And then I had to go inside and ask somebody to come out and help me. They were like, maybe you don't need weed. I was like, I need the weed.
Right. Give me the weed, Dad. Give me the weed. What's a crazy situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Rich. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, gentlemen. Your driver for Lion Pride Music here.
Hola. What's going on, Rich?
Well, you guys know I'm in pretty good shape. Well,
I always think that about you.
Every time we see you, like, damn, man, if I could just look like
how
Rich.
does Rich do it?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Anyway, in May, I was playing a soccer game, and I couldn't even run halfway across the field to warm up. It's like, what the hell's going on? I got no energy. So I spent that weekend. I had a hard time breathing. I went to work Monday and Tuesday. My boss looked at me and says, you need to go to the doctor. So I go to the emergency room on Wednesday, and they look at me and said, I think we're keeping you here for a while. A week later, I had what's called an LVAD operation. In other words, the chamber on my heart that pumps the blood was disintegrating from a rare genetic default or a rare genetic problem.
Jesus.
And so they physically, I sent Ted a couple pictures. I don't know if he got them.
Showing him right now.
Actually, you know what? He put him up in his living room and they framed him.
Good Lord, dude.
So if you see the first picture where I have the gown on, that little metal thing is attached to my heart. And then I have what's called a drive line runs out my body and it attaches to a little metallic thing in one hand. And I got a couple batteries. Mm-hmm. And that's what's keeping me alive. I look like a drive-by shooting in that one.
Dude, you look like when they stitch a cadaver back together.
I will say this, Richard. You have nice nipples. You know, sometimes people have some ugly nipples.
Well, thank you, Miles. I do appreciate it.
Nice and perky.
Hey, Rich, let me ask you this. So you're running on batteries. Like, what kinds of batteries? Are these batteries I can go to CVS and buy?
No, if you look at my hands, they're like the size of paperback books. They're huge.
Oh, Jesus.
And then at nighttime, I hook up to what's called shore power. I've got a 20-foot cord that attaches up to something that's plugged in the wall. Without power, I'm a goner.
Okay, so let me ask you this, man. A storm hits, the power goes out. I assume you have some backup power, but how long does your backup power last?
Well, the batteries are supposed to last about 16 hours, and I got 4 sets of batteries. So I'm okay there. If that goes out, we got generators everywhere.
So do you change your own batteries?
Yeah, I got to do it all myself. I change them every day, put a brand new set in, rotate them around. Every day I've got that where the cable goes out of my body by my belly button. I've got to clean that up every day with some swabs and rebandage that all up every single day because infection's the thing that kills most people.
Do you shake real bad when you use the microwave?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay. Yeah, don't. Don't, dude.
And I was worried. I was worried about going to the Nationals last weekend. It's like, I wonder if all those big nitro cars could knock me out. So I stayed away.
Damn. Okay.
And no more water. I can't get water anywhere near me. That'll short this thing out. No more booze. No more drugs.
What about taking a shower?
I put the batteries and the control unit in something that looks like an old binocular bag, and it's sealed all up. And so I can take a shower. I kind of seal everything up.
Okay, all right.
It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I got to keep it dry as much as possible.
What about like drinking water?
Oh yeah, I know. They want me to drink a lot of water.
All right.
So yeah, but no booze, no drugs. I had to sign a contract that I wouldn't do that.
Sign a contract? What kind of contract is that? Dude, it's about my life. I don't need to sign that.
Well, yeah, but you have to qualify to get this done.
Oh.
If you're just going to go out and booze it up and drink it up and kill yourself in a year, it's like, yeah, we'll save it for somebody else.
Like Larry Hagman.
Yeah, I was going to say Larry Hagman didn't get that contract. He didn't care. He drank someone else's liver.
I know.
So anyway, I'm doing fine now. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. But
well, I'm glad you're doing well, man.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Yeah, you got it. Damn. They're now comparing Rich to Tony Stark. This guy, Tony Stark. Jesus. Basically, yeah. See, man, I'm not comfortable with, all right, they should last 16 hours. Like, they last 16 hours or they should last 16 hours.
Man, I'm so happy the battery years are done with me, which means my kids.
Oh, my God.
God, it was just, batteries. It was always batteries.
They're not cheap.
What, batteries are expensive.
We have so many goddamn batteries. We have so many batteries in my house.
I still have a drawer full of batteries from those years.
Dude, I'll take them off your hands. Like, seriously.
I seriously do. Why do I need D batteries? Why do I need D batteries?
How's your AA supply?
Good.
My double and AAA, brother. D batteries.
9 volt for my smoke detectors, real good.
I think D batteries you use the least. At least in my current child experience I'm going through now, it is double and AAA batteries. Those are the primary ones. These allow my children to function and not lose their goddamn mind. 9 volts on occasion, but more for the smoke detectors, because most of the stuff they have that takes a 9 volt aren't their favorite things to play with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is double and triple. But D batteries, I think we had to buy them for like a flashlight or something. Otherwise, they don't use them. But all the game controllers, everything is nothing but batteries. And then the kids, for whatever reason, refuse to do anything with the batteries they pull out of the controllers. So at some point, I will go downstairs and I'm like, which ones are dead and which ones work? And guess what the kid's response is? I don't know. I'm like, man, you got to do something with this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to throw these away. They're expensive, man.
Yeah, only as an adult do I make sure to throw them away, right? Because you would hate.
Those kids, they just pile them up.
If my remote goes out and I put in 2 dead batteries, I'm going to be pissed at myself.
That's exactly it, man. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I've had this conversation with the kids more times than I should have.
Oh, I used to live with someone who would put the dead batteries right back in the drawer.
Put them in the drawer?
And that way, if it needed, like, say, 4, right? Maybe 3 were good.
Yeah, but you got to figure out which one
was a turd. And then I think all 4 were bad. So I'd throw all 4 away, right? Because...
You ever been lazy and your batteries are dying? Your remote even tells you.
But you wait it out?
Or sometimes I just flip them. Like, that'll buy me a couple more days.
But it seems to work.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Right. I should just change them.
I'll just roll them right there on the on the forks there. And for some reason, that buys me a little more time. Like, my batteries have been critically low for weeks now, and nothing's wrong. We're good.
All right, so we all do it.
Somebody here has a challenge for us. And this is actually a good challenge. Says, I dare you to give me the name of a single device that uses a C or D battery aside from a mag light, which is a D battery.
Well, that's the big flashlight. And I really don't use those anymore. I use kind of more of a pin light.
Well, how do you think I power my boombox, dude?
Well, of course.
Yeah, now there's not a boombox.
There was 8. Used to be 8 D batteries.
I don't know what takes a C or D battery. Why did we buy C and D batteries?
It used to, my tape recorder. You could plug it in the wall, or you could take a portable with you and use batteries.
In 2022, because this guy makes a good point, I don't know why I have C and D batteries.
Maybe an RC car?
Okay.
I was about to say, when I was a kid,
those are those brick batteries, man.
No, the small ones now, man, you can just throw in some C or D batteries.
How about a drone?
And they
drone?
They were double and AAA. I believe they were AA.
Because you don't want the heavy ones, because you're trying to fly.
Because you're trying to fly something. Right. So other than a flashlight, what do you use now?
Sex toy.
Sex toy. There you go.
Is that one? I don't know. I don't have the female version of that.
But I would assume probably C or D, right?
But I know there's no version that's a D battery for a dude.
You don't know that. I think if you look hard enough. Can you think of anything, dude? This is an amazing challenge.
No, I'm just going through my sex drawer.
What uses D batteries?
That's not a flashlight. We're actually Googling this.
Yes.
D batteries for electric fly swatter. I just got, there you go.
Flashlights, automatic odorizers, paper towel dispensers.
Oh, come on.
Is that like for your bathroom, like in a restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's battery powered? Yeah. Oh, how annoying.
It's funny. Somebody here
You don't
says.
see an outlet in the bathroom there, do you?
Somebody here says, ask your wives.
Radio-
I'm sure they could tell us.
Radio receivers.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Radio receiver. Yeah, like
an antique
basically
wall clock. Let's see.
Bluetooth products. Some use D batteries.
The automatic trash can lid. Whoa, here you go. Here you go. Full auto Nerf guns. Thank you.
I was going to say,
I
bet
knew
there's
I had it for something, man.
Nerf or like a water gun that probably takes a C or D battery.
Mattress pump.
I just feel like when I was a kid, everything took... Obviously, there was the AA batteries that got swept up in no time at all, but I feel like there was plenty that used either C or D batteries. Just the little stupid robot toys that you get, the little thing that talks and walks and does all this thing. I feel like they all took a
Basically,
C battery.
what I'm getting from here, everyone says anything that's like an automatic garbage can lid, air pumps for mattresses, and this guy, my giant 13-foot skeleton for Halloween takes 4 C batteries.
4 C batteries.
4 C batteries.
Also camp lanterns. Yes, they do.
Yeah, right.
Okay, makes sense. Although it's too heavy if you're backpacking. I mean, there should be a...
Mine had a hook on it. I just kept
light.
on there.
Okay. What's the craziest situation that you can't believe that you or someone else were a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
You liked working in an office as an administrative assistant, but you hated going to the office. Now, here's the perfect job for you with Benning Construction. They are looking to hire an administrative assistant to work from home, answering phones, handling emails, processing expenses, and scheduling clients. The requirements for this job is computer literacy, good communication, and organization skills. This is a part-time job. For questions or to apply, text 404-301-9734. Benning Construction is an equal opportunity employer.
If your New Year's resolution focuses on a healthier lifestyle, you're not alone. And you're also not alone if it's tough to get started. Let Chicken of the Sea's wild-caught tuna help. Have it as a midday snack or make a power bowl with your favorite veggies and grains. No matter what, you'll easily fit delicious lean protein into your busy schedule. When you eat healthy, you can live life to the fullest. That's what wild-caught happiness is all about. Visit chickenofthesea.com for more info.
What's up? I'm Josh Gwynn, and I'm here to spread the good news that Back Issue is back with a brand new season. We're revisiting pop culture moments we still think about, and this time we're getting into our Season 3 era. If you know, then you absolutely know, and if you don't, that's what I'm here for. We're getting into our Degrassi era, our Silk Press era, our award speech era, and more. We have so many eras to get into, so pack your bags and stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. Starting February 21st, you can listen to Back Issue, a production of Pineapple Street Studios. Listen on Odyssey, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with his CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
And she's leaving for the couch. Taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with his CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
And she's leaving for the couch. Taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
All right. We got a green light there from Ryan Kessler, Ted. While you're taking
on?
poop. Yep.
Yep, I was pooping.
Men's room takeover. We're going to play nothing but the Red Hot Chili Peppers for the rest of the show.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. It seemed like a good idea. You know, the concert's coming up. We're going.
T-Mobile tonight. We got a little party going on at Elysian Fields. Please stop by. Grab yourself a Men's Room Original Ale. Help the fine folks to Fisher House. And get a few before you go in.
And grab yourself a handful of bud of Ryan Castle.
That's right.
Try to.
Touch them.
Yeah. Just touch your butt.
See Ryan Castle will buy you a beer.
Also, let's be honest. You're going to be waiting in lines. Get into Elysian. Get a couple pints in you.
Hell yeah. Do more than
a good time. The party gets underway at 5. From what we understand, it's really
fantastic.
It's not even a party. It's just us at a table drinking beer.
Yeah.
So, come on down and grab a cold one down at Elysian Fields. What's the deal? People are chiming in on what they use a D battery for.
Well, the challenge. Somebody said, "Man, name a single product that uses a C or D battery other than sex toys and flashlights." So my kid's big Hot Wheels set. It has a wheel that shoots cars around the track. Uses C batteries. How about a cordless vacuum for our pool? It takes 5 D batteries. 5
cordless, so it's underwater, but the battery container area is sealed, I guess.
And who the hell uses an odd number? I mean, I've seen like 3 AAAs, but 5 Ds.
Keep in mind, you know what? In all honesty, there's a reason there shouldn't be an AC cord going into a pool.
Right, it kind of explains itself.
It really does, doesn't it?
You've seen those before, people that have pools at home. Those little things are just always kind of running, doing their job.
It's like a Roomba.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the original Roomba.
The aquatic Roomba. Baby swings. If you don't want or can't plug it in, we have one of those. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyone that blows up mattresses, they use those. Let's see. And someone here says, most newer women's toys are rechargeable. Secondly, my son's baby swing takes D batteries. Kid, your mom doesn't always use those sex toys. That's why you're here. And then somebody asked this question. In Jamaica, aren't all batteries D batteries?
D batteries.
Give me D batteries.
Irie, bringing it. What do you say, the hot fire?
There are also always D batteries at the Hanks household.
Well done, sir. Took me a second. I don't know what a mole spike is. Is that a killer? Moles, I guess. It says mole spikes for my yard.
Oh, is that an audio thing? I think they have a tone they set off.
That thing.
Mm-hmm. Or use peppermint gum. I'm telling you, it worked for me.
What are they?
I tried a bunch of different stuff, and they love the mint smell and the taste.
Well, who doesn't?
So they eat it, but they can't digest it. So it gets stuck in their
because they don't know not to swallow.
And they basically just get constipated and die from their constipation. It's a horrible way to go.
God,
but,
that is evil.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not against it.
Poop and it killed him.
The last thing he can do is blow a bubble out his ass.
It's either that or kill their families in front of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, listen. I mean, that's what happens with mold.
Our question, what's the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? Here we go as we head down to Florida. Cops in Florida were parked along the highway last Wednesday night when they saw a car speeding down the road and swerving across multiple lanes. Mm-hmm. So they pulled the driver over and asked all 4 men inside, you need to step outside of the vehicle. Later told the men they were free to go, and the 3 passengers walked back. But they noticed the driver hesitated on the road. They looked closer and noticed that the driver was making a hand gesture behind his back, which simulated that someone was firing a gun. They called him back, and he told them to pretend like they were writing a ticket because he was being kidnapped by the other 3 guys in the car, and that they all had guns. The cops did, and then announced they need to search the car. They found the guns and arrested the 3 passengers. According to the police, they broke into the driver's home, stole cash, and then demanded he drive them 2 hours to Miami, where they could get to more of his money. It is unclear why they wanted him to drive. Maybe they were just being lazy, but either way.
I mean, look, I've only kidnapped one person in my life. I don't. But that's a rookie mistake. Yeah. I don't entirely remember the scenario other than we were 2 bottles of tequila deep. I do know that whoever it is we snatched off the street, I know that Leon at least drove. Because to me, if you're my victim, unless it's...
You drove him home?
No, we didn't drive him home. We drove him to my home. where that's when he was officially kidnapped.
Oh, I see.
Then hog-tied him, threw him in the closet, whatever. Again, I don't exactly know what happened, but we know we did not ask him to drive.
How did he get home?
I don't know, because after a quick discussion with Leon, like, who is this? I don't know. And he's like, oh, that's right. And starts laughing. You don't remember snatching this guy off the street. I'm like, I sure don't. But now he's in my closet hog-tied. Pepperoni between his toes. He's gagged and he looks terrified. But specifically, when he saw Leon, he got even more terrified. So, I don't know what went down. But when we finally let the guy go, and keep in mind, when you kidnap someone, but you don't remember kidnapping someone, and you have no intention of like getting ransom or anything, like you just thought it was a funny ha-ha, well, now you have the problem on your hand that you are officially a kidnapper.
Yes.
And two, there's a victim in your closet, and I don't know this guy. So Leon, when my buddy Leon recognized that this guy was particularly scared of him out of the two of us, because I'm like, well, what do we do now? Leon, and he was joking, but he just looks at this guy and goes, well, now we got to kill him. And I mean, just this poor guy. And I'm like, dude, he's joking. I swear to God. Then I closed the door for a second. I'm like, you're joking. He's like, yeah, man. It's like I'm trying to scare the guy. So,
because he's not scared.
Right. He's not.
No, he was terrified. But
I'm saying he's already completely terrified.
He's perfectly fine.
But Leon's straight.
Perfectly.
Oh, we got to kill him now. I'm just like, hang on, buddy. Just looking at the guy like, hang on. Well, I will be right back with that.
We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Yeah. So, but in the end, I'm like, well, we got to let him go, obviously. And we did. And it was just like, look, just do it. Like, don't call the cops, man. I know it's a big ask. I apologize. I honestly don't remember. Like, I'm still drunk, you know what I mean? But, like, I don't remember snatching out the street.
Oh, no problem, sir. Thanks for a great night.
He didn't say much, but when we let him go, man, I remember the way our house was, the front door was below street level. So when you went to the second floor, where my bedroom was, you're at street level, and it faced directly onto our street. And I just remember this dude charging up the stairs, and he's running down the street and kept looking behind him until he disappeared out of view. Mm-hmm. And we lived on a dead-end street.
He was going the wrong way, so then you saw him run back by.
Every time I heard a car, I thought it was the cops for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I am going to jail. I am going to jail. And that was the party where I got in a lot of trouble for throwing the party. And my parents, I mean, they just read me the riot act, deservedly so. But all I could think is, doesn't matter how much trouble I get into, you don't know that I kidnapped someone. You're mad about the party. Yeah, some things got broken. Yeah, there's some stains. But the real bad thing, you don't know.
Wait a minute. I mean, I've heard the story so many times.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was at your parents' house.
Oh, yeah. So there's the party that I got in a lot of trouble for. This was that party. So they got home maybe 3 days after the party had come and gone. Like most parents, they could tell something went down. And the more they investigated, the more stuff they found. Right? I mean, broken bottles in the backyard, just all this typical teenage party you messed up thing. And again, I probably got more trouble for this than most other things in my teen years, as far as my parents go. And all I can think is just take the heat, bro, because they don't know that you committed a felony.
Yeah, and that guy was so scared. He was never going to tell anybody.
Oh, that's why we thought he was going to call the cops. And Leon didn't help things. It was like, we got to kill him. Like, no. He's joking.
Yep.
But I saw Leon, you're joking. Right?
Do you think if you ever had, like, walked by him again, you'd even recognize him? Or was it like the party was just such a blur?
I'm sure he looks different now, but that dude's image is burned in my head. I'm going to let you in on a secret. If you kidnap someone, when you see their face, you remember it. I remember exactly what this dude looks like. At least as he did then, man. Exactly. I can tell you the clothes he's wearing, everything.
Because, I mean, like, I've been close to, like, a fight with somebody, then run back into him, and I was like...
Wouldn't know.
Right. I was like, oh, that was us?
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But I bet you that guy would recognize me.
Oh, yeah.
Even to this day, 30-some years later, I bet you'd be like, that's the dude who kidnapped me.
What's the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROD.
I bet his family packed up and left Baltimore within like a week or two.
And the horrible thing is, this is why you don't listen to your friends for legal advice. Somebody's like, hey, ma'am, kidnapping, it's 7 years, right?
Yeah.
So Leon and I, we agreed, dude, like not a word of this to anyone. Honestly, for 7 years, we didn't say a word. And it's not like on day, the day one of year 7, we threw a party to tell people. But it's like, all right, you can kind of ease up and give this information out. And I told that story when we moved to Seattle, and a bunch of cops hit me up on the text line like, bro, there's no statute of limitations.
Yeah, not on that.
Yeah. They're like, I mean, we can't do anything because the guy has not come forward.
Sure.
But if he did, that's still on you.
That's why you don't want to do. You don't want to do. You never want to do like a national commercial for like Children's Hospital. Like
not on TV.
Is the guy?
That's what I'm saying. He'd be like, dude, That's the guy.
Children's Hospital guy. Children's Hospital guy is the guy. I gave them money last year during their pledge drive.
The spokesman for St. Jude's Hospital. Kidnapper.
Imagine if somehow, like, you get in a movie and you win an Oscar.
Oh, man.
That's the guy.
That guy's at home watching. He's like, it's him.
That's the guy.
It's the guy just won Best Actor.
Yeah.
In that drama? Yeah, it's a guy kidnapping.
He's the reason I don't eat pepperoni anymore.
Oh, man. Oh, which is maybe the worst part of the story.
Yeah,
I should never eat pepperoni.
Sir, let me get this straight. 2 large cheese. Okay. And a Caesar. What's the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROLLY.
I can't even look at a carrot meat.
I mean, looking back now, I feel bad. It was just kind of... It was a funny ha-ha that obviously got out of hand.
He loved it.
You know, but
he was joking.
Looking back, man, I feel bad. Sorry, dude. I
didn't sleep for months.
I didn't mean to kidnap you. We were drunk. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, this isn't my story, but something I just seen happen that made me happy.
Okay.
I'm a commuter. I live down south of Olympia. We're at 70 miles an hour. And there's a guy going, probably 55 or 60 in the far left-hand lane. Just got pulled over.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That is awesome.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Okay.
So, my story. My son, bachelor party. I was one of the designated drivers. And we took him to the Acropolis down in Portland. And he wound up on the stage in a chair, sitting in a chair with 2 of the strippers. And I'm like, no big deal. A few minutes later, I look over there. Now he's on the stage with like 8 strippers in his underwear. And they have Sharpies. The red one, black one, green one, purple one, and they are writing all over his body. I'm like, wait a minute, because his best man and stuff, they decided to have his bachelor party the night before he was getting married.
That's the worst idea. That is the worst idea.
Yeah. And so then fast forward to the next day, and now my son has more makeup on than his wife. We tried scrubbing that stuff off. His face was bright. I can't. We just tried his face and hands and stuff. And I cannot imagine. He's never talked about the honeymoon, because I know that there was a big heart on his stomach with all the strippers signed the heart on his stomach. So that's my story of.
Okay, can I ask you a question? How long ago was this?
10 years ago.
Are your son and his wife still married?
No.
They're not.
Not anymore.
I think they were trying to help him then.
Right.
Yeah. No, they made it about 6 years. You never talked about the wedding. Never seen wedding photos because,
And is that not, Mike, as you've learned, the wedding photo is one of the most important. But look, here's the thing. I believe we have 366 wedding photos, okay?
Jesus.
No. I've looked through them once, all right? And then inevitably there is a wedding photo that for the rest of your life is your quote-unquote wedding photo.
The synonymous photo.
Right. Really needed one. But here's the thing. So my wife got all these pictures on a thumb drive and sent them out to all the relatives so they can ooh and ah and do their thing. But she only sent 365 of the photos. And I said, what about that last photo? She said, I'm not going to send that. My mom's going to see it. I said, your mom's not going to care. Her mom was finally seeing, and all it was my wife still in her wedding dress, completely smashed, curled up into this little chair in the bedroom with a big-ass bottle of champagne still in her hand. Despite the fact she was asked out. And I'm like, that's my favorite picture from the set.
Right.
That is my absolute favorite picture. and you won't send it out to him. I want to get that one framed.
That's
man.
why when your kids look like idiots in school pictures, those are the best years.
Oh my God, yeah,
those are the best years. It's not the perfect picture.
No,
the perfect picture is just the perfect picture.
Yay!
But the ones where like you're looking to the side, or
they're kind of frowning, right? Or they're mad.
There was this one picture of my kids, man. My daughter was in a choir. It was a Christmas choir, and they're all dressed up like in red, fuzzy Santa type sweaters.
Okay,
and they have the hats on, and they're all singing up on the stage. And my daughter there's 12 kids up there, and my daughter just is bawling. So there's all these kids, this picture, just singing and smiling. And, I mean, she's just got tears running down her face. She's got her hands in her face, and she just looks miserable. Mouth is hanging wide open, like, ah!
And that's the one you want to keep?
One of my favorite pictures.
Just a quick side question. This is to schools everywhere. As a parent, I appreciate that you will take these photos of my kid every year, and you can kind of track them through the years. Why do you think my children would be next to a captain's boat wheel? Why do you think my kids would be on a farm?
Well, no offense. With a hand on a fence.
Right. That's
or a wagon wheel.
My kid, that's what I mean.
A wagon wheel.
And I'm looking at this like, who in the hell comes up with these back?
Also,
you haven't come up with anything cooler in all the years. Because my school pictures had the same, in elementary school, well, not high school, right? But the same stupid background.
But why is it always fall? Why couldn't it be at the beach? Or why couldn't you be like on an island? You know what I mean?
You know what you should do?
I went through the laser years.
Oh,
when I was in grade school.
Because you had the 80s, man.
Right. So
you're clubbing?
No, there's just, I don't know how to explain it. There's just either green or red lasers going like that.
Right.
You could pick which color you wanted.
Oh, so like you're being shot at with a taser.
Did you get like the soft
they're behind
side?
you.
Well, they just missed.
Did you get the soft sides? That was a big thing in the 80s. They kind of fade out. You know,
the glamour shots.
I just remember being a kid.
The Barbara Walters thing.
Yeah, it was like a giant deal to get the lasers.
This is what I think they should do, right? Sit a kid down in front of a computer and say you're going to do a Zoom call. Look at the background the kid picks. Maybe you put that in the back. Because you know what they don't pick? Wagon wheels, farms, and fall foliage.
Trust me, once a year my mom would take me to the equivalent, they called it Olin Mills. It was like a chain. Or
Sears, where they take your picture.
Yeah, family pictures. And they, they prop you up. It's the dumbest crap behind you.
Yep.
It's like the beach pictures. It's like, God.
And even as a kid, you're like, this is stupid.
Khaki pants and white shirts, and everybody's wearing the same thing. And here's our family at the beach.
And I'm not at the beach.
And
take me to the. If you want a beach picture, because I'll actually smile.
And then when you get home and you look at it on the wall, you're like, it's in black and white. Why do we have to wear the same?
Right.
What's the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-RON.
Oh, and it's always khakis.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Why is that? Why are khakis the go-to for photographs for your child?
They just are.
I refuse to, and nothing against you, Mike.
Sometimes it doesn't stop there, yeah.
I know. But at least you enjoy it.
Yeah.
My son, he doesn't even like to wear pants. Like, he will only wear shorts. And my thing is, I don't care.
I'm right there with him.
Good for you, brother.
I'm right there with him.
Angus Young, be you. Hello, Walter. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hola.
Hola. So when I was in high school, I lived on a border town next to Mexico, down in southern Texas, and we used to go party in a town called Matamoros, Mexico, all the time. And I went to the bathroom and pulled up to the urinal trough with all the ice and the limes in it.
Yeah.
And this guy came up next to me, stood next to me, said hello. And then this other guy came in from behind him and shot him right in the kidney.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
No clue why, what reason. I just got out of there as fast as I could.
Did you continue to pee, or did you stop your stream?
I think I stopped midstream. I was so frightened.
Did the guy who shot the shooter, did he stay in the bathroom when you rolled out, or did he just shoot him and duck?
No clue. I left. I was gone. I was right next to the door.
Jesus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, man.
Did you ever find out how that guy, if he made it?
No, but things like that tended to happen every weekend in Matamoros, Mexico, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Okay. All
right. Sounds like the place to party. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
Don't turn your back to the door, but I have to. That's where the urinal is. What's the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-RON.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been struggling with his CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is trying to contain her rage.
Michelle throws an elbow.
She's leaving for the couch.
Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
KISW, the men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
BJ and Migs, they've teamed up with Mary's Place for Kicks for Kids to make sure the kids in need get a pair of brand new sneakers to call their very own. Hell yeah. School is back, and each kid will get to choose their own brand, their own style. Help us reach the goal, $20,000 to give kids staying in the shelter the confidence they need to be able to go to school, feel good about themselves.
Yeah, man.
$50 buys sneakers for a child and $100 for a teenager. And there's 200 kids in shelter who need your help. So to KISW.com. If you get $5, if you can give $100, we would greatly appreciate it.
You know, man, I realize my kids have it so much better than I did, only because I'm a nicer parent. Going back to school, your parents would buy the stuff for you. And tell you these are the shoes, and you'd be devastated, you'd be crushed because they never got remotely close to anything you're comfortable wearing. Yeah. I realize when my kids, when we take them back to school, like to pick out a pair of shoes. They get to pick their own, man.
Yeah. And my stepfather would look at my feet and go, "What size are you?" I'm like, "Well, right now I'm 11. He's like, "You're going to be a 12.
Yep. You can grow into it.
Never can get a pair of shoes that actually fit.
And all you do is trip, fall, still get holes in it.
Last time you were a 10, so I know what's happening right here.
Yeah, it's called growing.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are parents always shocked?
How about 11 and a half? Can we split the difference?
Miles,
for kids, KISW.com, yeah.
Sorry, I got bad news for you. Now, you're talking about Gophers. Right, Gophers, and you do the, spearmint gum?
That's for moles.
Moles. Right, so we're talking about moles, and you said spearmint gum, and they chew it, then they can't poop.
Or double mint or something.
Turns out, it's not the case, Miles.
Oh.
Someone checks in and said, "I love the thought, Miles, but you are completely wrong. It isn't death by constipation. It's, and I cannot pronounce this word, xylitol, Xylitol. Anyway, the fake sugar, it raises their blood sugar and causes them seizures."
Oh, okay. Well, that's a better way to go.
So much better. You should feel much better about yourself.
Yeah. Because a seizure, you really don't know what it's happening at the time.
They're seizing to death. So there's actually a good chance of having a bowel
movement.
movement.
An outlook.
I mean, because epileptics don't really remember a lot of that. But when they wake up, they feel like they've run a marathon.
Well, the difference is, these moles don't wake up.
Yeah.
They seize and they die, Miles, with that minty fresh breath.
Sure. What is the craziest situation you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Erica. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So my situation wasn't mine. It was a buddy of mine. I turned 32 years ago. Las Vegas trip, invited a whole bunch of people. I wanted to go skydiving. I said, "You can do it if you don't have to. You choose."
Have you ever been?
Okay.
Had you been skydiving before?
I had not. It was actually all of our first times.
Okay.
So we were originally supposed to be able to go all together in a bigger plane, 12 people with our people as the tandem. My buddy is about 6'4", 200, and I honestly don't know, but he's a laborer, and if you know anything about construction, laborers, like they some of them are built, right? So he's got a lot of meat to him, and so we were calling his instructor his backpack. Like, "Oh, where'd your backpack go?" Because they balance out your weight. So we were like, okay, cool. So unfortunately, we had to go separate, right? So it was only 2 of us to 2 of them in a smaller plane. So
hello.
Ended up going. Hello.
I know you faded out for a second.
Oh, okay. So so with the way the schedule worked out, he went last. So it was my husband that were second, a couple before us, and then he ended up working out last. And they told us, "Hey, look up at the sky when you see our plane. When he jumps out, you're going to see a white puff, and that's going to be the first person. The next white puff you see is going to be the second person. That's the tracer bag or whatever they call it." So we're like, okay, great. First person jumps out, and we knew it was the random chick he was with. Parachute deploys. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. He jumps out. We see him. We're like, "Oh, that's James. Oh, we're excited. Woo, like, go team." It's been 15 seconds. been 20 seconds, which feels like 20 minutes. And we're like, why is it not coming? Why is there not? We're looking at our watches. We're kind of freaking out. We're like, what's going on? Parachute deploys. Oh, thank God. Woo! You know, we get all excited. We're totally happy. He gets, shuttled in. We're like, oh my God, how'd it go? Oh yeah. He goes, yeah, it was good. It was great. Did you hear a wafting noise? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like a plastic bag. And I was like, are we talking like, plastic bag catches wind and that's it? Or he goes, no, like continuous. I go, no. He goes, well, what about a beeping? No, definitely no beeping. He goes, oh, well, there was a lot of beeping on my end. And we're like, dude, that's your secondary parachute. Ooh. He's like, what? We're like, yeah, that's your emergency chute that deploys once you reach a certain, like, your altimeter was going off. And he's like, oh, my God. And he goes, happy birthday, Erica. I love you. I've learned one thing. I'm too big to skydive, and I'm never going again. But I've done it.
Yeah, that's fair, man.
All right.
It is better what you don't know. Like I said, the one time I went, and it was a great experience, and you don't know if they're messing with you, whatever, because there's another guy who's kind of filming it. There's another jumper, but at some point, the guy that I'm tandem with says, hey, do me a favor, as the wind pump your legs like you're on a bicycle. And I think they're just having to do dumb stuff, but I did it, right? Whatever, we come down, we land.
Get some exercise while you're up here. Quit being lazy.
Yeah. So we land, no big deal. He pulls off the chute and he goes, listen, man, the reason I had you kick your legs like a bicycle, we were about to go into the death spin. I'm like, what? He's like, right. There's a reason I don't tell people why I need them to do things. He's like, well, basically, if you didn't do that, we would have gotten tangled up and just smacked into the ground. I'm like, I'm glad you waited.
Yeah.
Change my perspective.
You're right. Until you know.
Right.
Like, I always tell a story. Like, years ago, we were doing a day hike up on Rainier. I can't remember where we were, but, like, it's very strict, like, day hike. Like, just don't cross snowfields.
Right.
So me and my buddy do, but we're not really thinking about it. But about halfway through, there's a group of people down the mountain from us in all the gear you can imagine. And that guy was just like, what are you guys doing up on that ridge? And we were like, walking by. And he's like, you really shouldn't be up there. And at that point, we got super scared.
Right.
Obviously, I'm here, so we made it to the other side.
Is it like worrying about crevasses that basically just are snowed over?
It was just a footpath about not even a foot wide.
Jesus.
But we didn't realize how far it was. We thought we were just taking a little shortcut. And then when we got halfway there, like, nobody else was coming back. They were practicing self-arrest to go higher up.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
that's
like literally, right? Because if we had slipped, we would have just slipped into the ether.
That's comforting.
Yes, you would have.
Yeah.
Right down the snowfield.
Right. We had no gear or nothing.
We're doing tennis shoes?
What's it, 5,000 feet?
What is
whatever?
the name?
There's, was it Paradise or something?
Paradise is the parking lot.
All right. So then we hiked up saw a giant lookout at whatever 1,000 feet.
Right.
Mirror.
Crossed that snowfield and then got back on the trail.
Yeah.
God, that just sounds like a bad idea.
It was terrible.
It is terrifying.
Right, wearing shorts and T-shirts and tennis shoes.
Right.
Like, I never realized how quickly a power bar could freeze.
Yeah. So the way that it, just to kind of put it in perspective for me, not that these are actual links, but if you were to look at a football field and it's 100 yards, you could only move forward if you walked the entire length of the football field 1 yard at a time and kept zigzagging back and forth.
Zigzagging per yard.
To get all the way 100 yards. Like
a scrambling quarterback.
In essence, where we needed to get to was a pretty straight shot. But the crevasses were so big and so deep and so wide, you had to do switchbacks till you could get to a place that was a safe jump point to get over it. Now,
I don't jump point.
You have to jump over the hole.
How big of a hole am I talking about?
Sometimes 2 or 3 feet, and you got a 60-pound pack on.
But how far down does the hole go?
You can't see that far. It's just blue.
Yeah. See, not cool, man.
But you can see, in some points, you can hear the stream. But for the most part,
good.
I don't know how deep it is.
That's where I'll drown.
So, on the way down, there might have been 3 to 4 feet of snow that had fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know for a fact, like the game Don't Break the Ice, that some of those crevasses had at least 20 to 30 feet. They were wide open, that we circumvented, right? You can't see that on the way back down.
Oh, they're just gone now.
You don't know where those holes are. And you are roped up, and you do have an ice pick, and you do jam it down to see, but ice pick's not going to go 3 feet down.
Right.
So you have no idea. You're just like, this thing's got to hold. It's just got to hold, wherever those holes are, because you You don't know they're there. Everything just looks like a plain white field.
But see, here's the thing.
But you know they're there because you went up.
Volunteered to do. To me, if I'm in that scenario, it's because the plane I was in crashed on a mountaintop. I cannot imagine any other reason.
That's why they were saying don't go up there because, you
gotta die.
That's a possibility. Or it could just be, depending on the time of the year, that it's just starting to melt, and you might only have a foot right there. If you want to get off of it one way or another, and you're just you drop through a hole. Like people will turn around and their buddy's gone. You're like, that's how that kind of stuff happens. Like,
yeah, no. See, if I'm not in a plane crash, I can't see myself up there.
And then when they get down there, they don't have cell phone.
Right. So what do you do then?
You scream down like, hey,
hey, hey.
What's the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Bob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Well, I guess to put it, my crazy situation is to bump into about 10, 11 years later, face-to-face with the person who tried to kill me.
Tried to kill you like what? Like pulled out a gun and tried to kill you? Or just said, hey, if I see you again, I'm going to kill you?
No, convicted, went to prison with a gun.
Wow. What was the situation that this guy wanted to kill you?
It was actually a girl.
What is the situation that this girl wanted to kill you?
Well, to make a really long story short as possible, I'm a little older than most of the people here, but about 25 years ago, I used to work for a company, and every Friday, you get together, go out for beers, have a good time. One of my friends said, hey, I'm going to invite a couple friends over with us to go out. And it's like, well, no big deal. So one of her friends was a friend, a girlfriend, and we ended up talking, totally cool girl, but, there's no connection there. And, we hit it off, and everything was fine amicably. Nothing ever happened outside of that. Well, about three weeks later, there's a knock at my door like 10 o'clock at night, and it's her. And I'm like, how did you find out where I live? And she's like, oh, so-and-so told me. And then, okay, and that's when it just fast-forwarded to weirdness. Told her, I'm not really into you and everything. You're cool, but, trying to find any way to get out of the situation.
Sure.
And absolutely escalated into just craziness to where she ended up, it's like something out of a TV show. She would call me. I'd come home from work. There'd be 42 messages on the answering machine.
Uh-oh.
Why are you calling me?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, why aren't you calling me? What's going on? I thought you liked me. And then it just progressed after there. It'd be knock on the door at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have to tell her, you got to leave. And she'd get all pissed about that. And finally, she started making some threats and called the cops. They came and picked her up and took her home. I filed a restraining order on her. She came back a couple nights later, knocked and pounded on the door, just madder than hell, saying, if you can't be with me, nobody else will be with you. Or, and it's like, well, okay. And she said, well, I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to tell them that you raped me. And I'm like, well, that's a little impossible to do. And she's like, yeah, but, by the time they figure out you didn't do anything, you've already spent a night in jail. So I called the cops. They came and picked her up. She was in violation of her no contact order. They took her off to jail. A few days after that, she must have made bail. I don't know. But the place I was working, big building had a parking garage. Somehow she got into the parking garage. And drunk off her ass, I got a call from our security officer saying, hey, do you know this person? And I said, well, yeah, kind of. Know her, yes. But he's like, well, she's drunk down here. She's saying she needs to see you. And I'm like, well, no. And maybe 5 minutes after that, my boss came and got me and said, you need to come with me to my office and sit down. Well, evidently, the security officer talked to her, and she was drunk off her ass, stumbled around, handgun came out and fell on the ground. They called the police and confiscated the gun, but while arresting her, also caught her with a really big carving knife. Arrested her. I ended up having to go to court, testify against her, in which she admitted she was there to kill me.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
So then how do you bump into her 11 years later? Where were you?
I was actually out with my wife and my daughter Christmas shopping.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And we're shopping, and I rounded the corner of this aisle, and boom, there she is. She looked at me just for a second. I turned around immediately. I must have turned just white. My wife looked at me and was like, what's going on? And I grabbed her and I grabbed my daughter, like, we need to leave right now. And rushed out, got in the car. My wife is like, what is wrong? You're white as a sheet. And she's like, did you just piss yourself? And I'm like, oh, I guess I did. But yeah, that's my story. I mean,
when you say this woman who showed up at your work to kill you, made eyes with you for a second, was it for that 1 second that you exchanged looks? Did she look full of rage? Did she look happy to see you? What?
No, I mean, we met eyes just for a second. I don't think it registered quick enough who I was. I knew exactly who she was. And man, I turned lightning fast away from that situation, grabbed my wife and my daughter and hit the road.
Well, I guess she's still in the area.
Yeah, that's comforting. Jesus, man. Yeah. Hey, someone's in the parking garage. They want to see it. Like, to me, that's all the red flag you need.
Baby, I'm irresistible.
I wanted to ask him, like, you have like a 15-inch penis. Can you lick your own eyebrows?
Do anything.
Like, what is it? I thought he said they had one night together, right? Because he said, like, the first night we chatted, he said it was all consensual or something to that effect. So I think
I just assumed it was.
Yeah, so maybe they hooked up. Either way.
What is the craziest situation that you can't believe you or someone else was a part of? 206-421-ROD.
That's a tough one. You just never know who's not all there.
No, you don't. But you find out quick, hopefully. Hello, Christy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi, how are you today?
Hola.
Hola, bicholas. Okay, my story starts at Dash Point. We was just camping, and me and my boyfriend and my dog were walking along the beach, and my dog got a hold of this, looked like a doll's leg, right? And was like, what the hell is that? So we pick it up, and we're throwing it, and we keep walking down the beach, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this little girl hopping down the beach going, hey, man, has anybody seen my leg? My dad's going to kill me. I lost it again.
Your dog took her leg?
Well, she found it. I don't know if she took it. She just found it.
And then you were playing fetch with this poor little girl's leg.
Yeah, so she comes hopping up. Hey, I'm going to get in so much trouble. My dad just bought that new one.
Oh, no.
Didn't know how to react. You know, I was like, I just kept looking forward because I didn't want to say anything.
Wait, you didn't give the girl back her leg?
No, she got it back. I told my dog to drop it, and we just kept walking.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I like your son. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Like the hit and run that keeps on driving.
But wait a minute. Yeah. You didn't even, you made her hop up to the leg.
No, she was already full-blown hopping down the beach.
But I mean, you just told your dog to drop it, and you kept going, so she still had to continue to hop to get to her leg,
Here
right?
comes Tina hopping down the beach.
Damn, man.
I mean, did you not recognize it was a prosthetic leg?
No, it looked like a little girl doll.
Here comes
leg.
Tina.
We didn't know it was a real person.
So I understand where you come from. How old was this little girl then, if it was that tiny?
About 7.
Oh, my God. Poor girl. Jesus.
A 7-year-old? When's the last time you've seen a doll the size of a 7-year-old?
But when's the last time you saw a 7-year-old with a wooden leg?
Well, I never had.
Yeah, I mean...
See? Exactly.
I just feel like I would recognize the prosthetic as not being from, like, an American Girl doll.
Right. But right, if it's that small and it's wood, I would probably think...
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I at least would have stopped and dressed the little girl. Like,
I would have too.
Sorry.
But we would have definitely had a conversation.
Drop it. Let's keep going.
I'm so sorry.
Right, I'm not even, she said she didn't even look at her. She kept her eyes forward.
Just drop it.
Dog's devastated. Like, this is the greatest thing I've ever had.
I'm going to lose that leg.
I just lost it.
Yeah.
Do you think the dog found it?
I bet, this is what I think. You know how dogs are. I bet you it was like on the girl's towel next to her.
Yeah, she set it
Within
down.
3 feet of that girl, the dog saw it, snatched it, and took off.
And it just sounds so bad. It's like she came hopping along. Like, oh.
I mean, look, dog could have ripped it off of her leg while, she's walking.
Who Sucks Last coming up? You are listening to the men's room.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been struggling with his CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is trying to contain her rage.
Michelle throws an elbow.
She's leaving for the couch.
Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with this CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
As she's leaving for the couch, taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9. KISW.
Our question: what is the craziest situation that you cannot believe you or someone else was a part of? And here come those emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
And a couple from our question from today. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I was younger, about 7. We went up to my grandparents' house in Indian Arm, British Columbia. Now their house was at the bottom of a big hill on the water, surrounded by jumbo trees. Out of nowhere, a gigantic windstorm came through. As we were loading up the cars, trees started crashing down all around us. One took out my grandma's new truck and shed. Another damaged the roof and part of the deck. I heard a gigantic snap, and saw another one coming from my mom, who was trying to get into the car. The tree started to come down right where she was going, so I ran out in front and pushed her out of the way. The tree landed a couple feet from us and the car. Crazy thing is, I do not remember this, but my parents told me what I did. I was going to text you guys about the time that I got offered to be a F-buddies with a furry, but I thought this was a better story. Rock and LARP on, bitches. That from Justin.
LARP on. Please send that to the podcast. I want to hear this furry story.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Pacholos, I have a friend that lives just outside of downtown Philadelphia. I was checking our local Seattle news and saw that there was a mass shooting the night before on June 5th in the downtown area. He typically avoids downtown, but I thought I'd text him to make sure he wasn't in that area. Texted back with astonishment that the shooting must have been why traffic was gridlocked in the city. He ended up illegally driving in the wrong direction on a street near the famous Rocky Steps in order to get out of there. He was driving home from Jersey and was in the city maybe 10 minutes after the shooting. I sent that story to my other friend living in Oklahoma City as a crazy story that happened. He responded back asking me if I saw the news about the Tulsa, Oklahoma hospital shooting. I then made the connection that his wife does sales in the medical field. He told me that the shooter pulled into that hospital as she was driving out of the Tulsa hospital parking lot. So I found out 2 of my best friends were near 2 mass shootings that morning. Keep rocking and positive Wednesday. That from B-Dub.
Clearly.
Yeah, right. As we move on to the birthdays. Oh, Jesus.
I'm really excited about Stranger Things now, all right? I just got into it.
Okay. Hi, guys. We'd like to wish our son Aiden a very happy 16th birthday. He's been in a cast all summer, and it has sucked. We love you hopefully next summer. No cast, no COVID. Love Mom, Dad, and Austin. Hey, y'all, it's my good friend Thick's birthday. Can he get green beans? And the Dirty German's telling us why he likes milk so much, please.
Green beans.
By the way, the Green Bean t-shirt is available now in the rock shop at KISW.com. It's our latest shirt. It's a can of beans on the front of a shirt. Basically,
you look good in yours.
I haven't got one. Yeah. I asked like 3 times.
Yeah, you said the birthday boy's name is Thick.
Thick.
Then tonight we'll celebrate by doing the 69 position. And I know why you like milk so much, because I produce so much.
Yeah, I think probably that's the reason he likes it so much is, frankly, it's never been answered, but it's nice to get an email from Homelander. So, yeah, you little creepy pervert, drinking your milk. Do you want me to dress you up like baby?
Hey, today is my partner Brent's 36th birthday. How about an owl hitting the window, some wedding puke, Your penis is too small. And the Dirty German's talking about what he can do with his sturdy 10-pole tonight on his birthday. Thanks, guys. That from the lovely Jennifer.
Yeah, hopefully if he's staring at his tent pole tonight, it's because your hands are all over it.
Yeah. So you know what? It sounds like maybe she has to put in some work to make the pole finally go down. It's also, guys, if it's a real tent, hopefully you break it.
Want to wish my wife, Andrea, a very happy 43rd time around the sun from your loving husband, Jim. How about the Dirty Germans talking about playing with Legos, maybe a fish sandwich and some turtle sex. Thanks, guys. Big fan.
Fish sandwich. Are you sure?
Yeah, tonight's we will make the human Lego set. It's quite simple. You bend over and I'll put my piece in yours.
Yeah, so I'm going to take you down to my pain dungeon. Supposed to be whips, supposed to be paddles, none of that. There's just Legos on the floor as we have sex. But it's a be pure pleasure.
Gotta walk around everywhere.
Right. Ah! You're on all fours, I'm behind you like a good German. And there's Legos all over the floor. It's a thin line between pain and pleasure.
And you can't look down. That's the rule. Eyes have to be eye level the entire time. You can't look down. You just got to step on it. Hello, today is my wife Angie's birthday. It's her 45th time around the sun. Thrill, you married us 12 years ago.
Oh.
It's been a wonderful 12 years. Can she get some dirty German talk, a fish sandwich, and a Leroy Jenkins? You guys have a great day. And do some shots for her, please. Thanks, guys. That from Guy.
A filet of fish sandwich.
Leroy Jenkins.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, I did in fact marry you 12 years ago. I remember it. And the whole time I was there, I thought, what is his name? All he says is Guy. Who is that guy? That's Guy. I know this, but what is his name?
What's this guy's name over here?
Who is this guy?
What's the question?
It's the groom. I'm like, no, I know this guy is the groom. But congratulations on 12 years. The secret to your marriage is that I married you.
Yeah. It's funny. You know, it's the parents. They say, I brought you into this world. I can take you out. He married you. It's the only thing that can break it up is two Germans.
Guys, today is my 51st trip around the sun. Can I get Thrill, Shotgun Gets, and a pep talk from Coach Ted about being 51 and having a 6-year-old son? Thanks, guys. That from Robert. Get.
51. 51's a good number. Coach loves that number. Why? 2 words. Dick Buckus. Moving on. You got a 6-year-old.
That could be 3 words.
It could be. You got a 6-year-old son at 51. I don't have to tell you about staying in shape and staying young because he's going to do that for you. You got a lot of life in you. 51 for you, sir. It's literally just a number. Kid, 6.
Ted's laughing at you.
I'm laughing because,
when you're 70,
yeah, right.
Something you can have a bear with him.
Well, usually at 51,
another day.
You're not that old. You can keep doing this and that. Like, oh, my man's got a 6-year-old.
Yeah, 6-year-old.
He doesn't have a choice.
Hi, guys. Here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob, and a couple extra emails. Ola Bacholas has just had the pleasure of trying your Men's Room Original Ale for the very first time last night. To say it short, it is a damn good beer and worth yelling at anyone who tries to grab one of the remaining 5 I have.
Nice.
I live in Massachusetts, and I had recently discovered a half-sister. And she brought me out a case when she visited for the first time this past week.
Half-sister, yeah.
Your show was actually one of the first topics I brought up, and we bonded over. It's not like the porn. It's not like the porn stuff. So thank you guys for being that and for being a great show.
No, I thought she was mixed.
Oh.
You know, she's half-sister. She's just a friend of mine at work. But I discovered a half-sister at work.
I also wanted to bring up the story on the crazy man in Davis Square in Somerville, Massachusetts on Who Sucked Last week. My girlfriend lives near Davis Square, and I walk my dog there when I can. Nice area, but outside of the 7-Eleven is a group of some somewhat crazy homeless people.
It's 7-Eleven, yeah.
Also, they added a bunch of bike lanes, so traffic around there is a bitch. So I'm not surprised that the man threatened the bus driver with a chopping block. It's just a nice storm mixed with millennial stealing and homeless people fashion show. Keep up the good work, people. They're from Cody in Massachusetts. Oh, by the way, if you want to stop by and get a men's room original ale with us tonight, we'll be down at Elysian Fields, right beside the stadium before the Red Hot Chili Pepper show. And that's why we've determined we're not going to play anything else all day long except for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, at least on our show. And what else? We got a couple more here. Let's do one more.
This will not happen if the Smashing Pumpkins go on tour. They're just throwing that out there.
Ola Cholos, you guys rock. And I love you for all that you do and have done. I know I've heard you all discuss great burger places before, and my dumbass was too lazy to stop right then and write them down. Every food item I've ever tried from the head chef, any one of these talked about, has been delicious. So I'm hoping the head chef can recommend his top 3 places to have a burger in the Seattle area or the whole state. I will drive where I must for a good burger. Rock on, guys. That from Nick the Meat Cutter.
Nick, part of being a head chef is you got to listen to other guys in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I have not eaten it, but I believe Miles Montgomery tried it once and has gone back twice to Loretta's.
3 times.
3 times. All right, so like right now, I think Loretta's is the best burger of the city.
For me, yes. Right.
I mean, that's where it wins all the
Loretta's
awards.
Northwesterner.
Yeah.
Is the name of it. That's in South Park. And I'm telling you, it is, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how can a hamburger? Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
I also very much enjoy 8-Ounce Burger Company.
That is a great burger. Great hamburger.
Where's that at?
There's one on Capitol Hill. They might have had 2. I don't know. I know the one on Capitol Hill on Broadway is still there.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's another one. But
Nick, you can't go wrong with the tried and trues, the Red Mills of the world.
Red Mills.
The Little Woodies of the world. There's some good ones.
This is how it starts. Because I'm like, yeah, Little Woody's is great.
Mm-hmm.
Lunchbox Laboratory.
They have a great burger down there that you love, Ted.
Right, and I do love Dick's, but Lunchbox Laboratory, their
Andy likes burgers.
Their homage to the Dick's Deluxe is top notch.
Coming up, we'll drink a toast with a shot of the day, but first.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks last?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Steven Terrell, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. All of them suck to some degree, but it's up to determine there, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow us on Twitter, Men's Room Live, or is it like us on Facebook?
Yeah.
The debate is already underway on who sucks less.
Miles got his finger on the pulse of
I'm so happy I do not know that.
And Miles, today, just so you know, as always, 3 stories. All people suck. But we go international, my friends, all right? International, because I want to class you up. Yeah. So we're going to go to Uganda. We're going to go to Tunisia, and then we're going to finish in Colombia, because that's where the cocaine is. But let's start in Uganda, where a man packed his bags and left his growing family after his wife recently gave birth to their 5th pair of twins. Now, while some people will give anything to have one child, others have no problem abandoning their offspring, apparently. Case in point, this man, he couldn't cope with the fact that his wife recently gave birth to their 5th set of twins. So Nalongo Gloria never underwent IVF treatments to get pregnant, yet she can't stop having twins. So the woman recently brought her 9th and 10th child into this world, which made her husband, whose name I cannot possibly pronounce, pack up his things and roll
He lost his mind.
One day, when she came home, the woman realized that her husband packed up his belongings and left. She has not heard from him since, and as she says, struggling to take care of all of her children. Still, she does not regret anything as she places her faith in God. She says, quote, I don't regret giving birth to all these children. I know their father doesn't like them, but I can't abandon them. Despite the challenges, I will never abandon my kids.
No, now, their father does not like
She currently lives with 7 of the children after the eldest pair of twins. They left the nest. They're old enough. One of the other children tragically died, but they face an uncertain future as the landlord recently told the woman he no longer wants her or her baggage. That is
the landlord.
The landlord, right. So she is just going through it. But dude rolled out. Yeah.
Well, he's responsible for that.
Correct. But he's not doing it. Now we go to Tunisia, where a woman has been receiving messages of support from around the world after being dumped at the altar because her would-be mother-in-law didn't like how she looked. So last week, this woman from Tunisia, she took to Facebook to share the story of how she was supposed to have the best day of her life, and it turned into a nightmare. She and her partner of 4 years, they were supposed to be married, and everything had been arranged, and they'd spent a lot of money to make sure that everything went according to plan. But the one thing they had not taken into account, the groom's mother. She said that she had never actually met the woman in person before, and instead of a warm welcome into the family, all she received from the mother on her wedding day was vitriol. Now, the wedding ceremony was already underway. The guests were all present, but the woman's future mother-in-law had other plans in mind. In front of everyone, she approached her son and asked him to cancel the wedding, claiming that the bride was, and I quote, too short and ugly, and that she wasn't worth marrying. Now, as if the mother's outburst on what was to be a great occasion wasn't shocking enough, guests were taken aback by the groom's reaction. Took his mom's side, and despite the pleas of multiple people attending the wedding, he abandoned her and left with his mother.
And that was an arranged wedding.
They had arranged a wedding. I don't know if it was an arranged wedding. They had been together for 4 years.
So they had been in a relationship. It wasn't like they just met at this.
They've been together for 4 years.
Okay. All right.
Mom's like, she's short and ugly. Get out of there. And now we go to Colombia, where when it comes to backing out of a wedding, faking your own kidnapping sounds like overkill, but that did not stop one Colombia man from using this technique to avoid his own wedding. The unnamed 55-year-old man, he was scheduled to marry his fiancée in front of family and friends. Now, as the big day grew closer, the man started getting cold feet, and he told some of his friends about it. And he said he might break the engagement and pull out of the wedding. But he didn't know how to go about it, so his quote-unquote good friends came up with the idea of faking a kidnapping. What they didn't plan was for the authorities to launch a full-scale operation involving police and the Colombian army. So after instructing the groom-to-be to lay low for a few days, friends called emergency services, made up a story about how they'd actually witnessed his abduction by a group of armed men riding motorcycles, all right? So, as Colombia has a history of such kidnappings for extortion and all that, local authorities took the situation very seriously. They mobilized both the entire police force in the district as well as the Colombian army. Now, after seeing newspaper and reading that resources have been mobilized for the lie, that's when the victim's friends came forward, told the cops. We just made up the whole thing to get him out of the wedding.
Okay, Ted, I'm going to say the man in Uganda who left his wife shortly after she gave birth to their 5th set of twins. I believe that this man, he sucks the most.
Correct. Oh, well, I agree.
He is a guy who is...
I say correct.
He abandoned his family. He is responsible for that. That is part of his responsibility. Now, the man who left his bride to be at the altar after his mother in front of everyone approached him and told him to cancel the wedding because she was too short and ugly to marry.
Correct.
First of all, they'd been together for 4 years. They had dated. This wasn't an arranged marriage to the point where they just met a couple days before or any of that. He knew exactly who he wanted to marry. Now,
that short, fat bride.
His mom had a different plan. But she did not only care to never meet this person 4 years before they were dating, but had no interest in his son's wife.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously. Now, she gets up there in front of everyone and makes this scene. But he agrees with her and makes a public mockery of her and everyone who wasted their time coming to the wedding. Now, the guy who faked his own kidnapping, all right, he doesn't want to go and say, you're short and ugly, or here's the reason I don't want to be with you. That would hurt someone's feelings and make them feel horrible about themselves. He's going to put this on him. Look, I was kidnapped. I don't want to do this. I'm not trying to hurt you by saying, like, you know what, you suck. I don't want to be with you anymore. It's just more like, I'll just disappear. They will never know. This person is nice, but I just don't feel like this is the right thing for me.
But here's the problem with your theory. Say either you have to lay low for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Because when you show up, she, of course, will be delighted to see you. So what do you do now?
I freed myself, Steve, from these kidnappers.
Okay,
You drug me into the jungle and put pepperoni in my toes.
Right, but now Thrill's right. When you see her, she's going to be excited to see you. And now you're going to be like, oh, I got kidnapped and I didn't.
Ted, I never knew how to get a hold of you, and it's been years, and I couldn't find you, so I married someone else.
It cost money because the cops got involved.
Just like the Army. Just like Castaway.
The Army, right? Now, look, I don't think at whatever age you're getting married, you need to be listening to Mom. But you know what? Number one, Mom could be right. She could be short and that ugly, which is tough, because I'm not exactly tall and beautiful. But also, he left her at the altar.
Yes.
While it was embarrassing for her, it didn't affect anybody else outside of that marriage who was at that ceremony.
Yeah. Okay.
Your kidnapping guy, again, they had to call in the army and this and that. And at least, as harsh as it is, at least the dude that said, you're too short and ugly, at least he was honest.
Maybe
he was honest. His mom said it. Right. He just didn't disagree.
But he left. Like this guy, look, if you don't want to get married, I'm not saying it's easy, but you don't have to fake a kidnap and just say, we ain't going through with it.
They chalk that up to a live training exercise.
Just like, how you're going to go through all that just say you don't want to get married?
Yeah.
It seems much easier.
Then you crushed her.
Right, so I'm saying the guy who left...
I don't want to hurt her feelings. I just want her to think I've been kidnapped.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm missing. I don't know.
Right, so the one who left Smurfette at the altar, I think he sucks the least.
Okay. Smurfette. She was pretty.
Good point.
Okay.
Miss Piggy.
A troll.
Oh. Debate continues on
I
Who
saw the
Sucks
thing
Less.
for Miss Piggy. She got a lot of
cleavage, a lot of sass.
Yeah, and she's blonde.
Would you have sex with Miss Piggy?
Oh, in a second.
Tastes like bacon.
I'm just saying, like, I know we're supposed to think, but like, I don't know, man. She's blonde. She's got a lot of cleavage, a lot of power.
Ted's been dating Miss Piggy.
She's got a personality. I don't know why I'm digging this hole.
Slather and barbecue sauce. Shot of the Day's coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with this CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
As she's leaving for the couch, taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, check out in just a couple minutes here. We'll drink and toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Bob Kopp. And some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
We're going to say this ironically. Good news. Cases of Lyme disease are skyrocketing in rural America.
This is more meat for me and you.
Yeah.
Why?
It is.
I don't know,
Ticks.
to be honest with you.
Well, I know it comes from
that's it.
ticks, but like,
why is it now? Why?
I got to think the weather has a lot to do with the tick's propagation. So even the places where you could normally go where they wouldn't be so plentiful, I think they're just everywhere right now.
All right.
And that's why.
the last time I was somewhere, I was back east in Maryland watching my buddy's kid play baseball.
All right.
And they were like, you can either walk in the woods to pee, or you can walk like half a mile over there. And they were like, just so you know, there's ticks in the woods.
Walk half a mile.
I'll be back.
Yeah, and the other problem is that there's influencers that are saying that it's an intergalactic substance and a gift. No, it is not. Lyme disease is a
Who's saying that?
Influencers.
Why?
Influencers for who?
Do not know.
They're saying Lyme's disease.
Yes. It says here that there are some social media influencers that say that Lyme disease is an intergalactic substance and is a good thing.
That's like me saying AIDS is awesome.
Right.
Like,
no, it's not. Just because you say it is, knock it off.
Here's the question you ask the influencers. Do you have or have you ever had Lyme's disease?
Right.
Because I bet you wouldn't say it's awesome.
It's not a good thing. You don't want it. 70% of parents say their kids' education is worth going into debt for.
All right.
Basically, they're talking just about school supplies and whatnot.
I mean, it depends on the kid.
We need a new backpack every year. Yay.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
The Washington Post published an investigation on into how batteries of gadgets are, quote, designed to die.
Well, of course they are.
Right? Oh, you mean like an Apple phone?
Pretty much.
Our phones, light bulbs, batteries, of course they're designed to die.
There's also some hidden death dates of certain gadgets that are out there.
I mean,
my guess is
I have that drawer, and I was looking at all the iPhone's headphones, and I accumulated with all the different phones I've gotten throughout
and none of them fit in the next jack.
There's no jack now.
Right.
So I just took them and like, okay, I get your business model.
Yeah, they need repeat
Just
customers.
know you made everyone look like a dork.
Well, keep in mind, and their thought is this, like, if you want batteries that last longer, you want light bulbs that last longer, they just cost a lot more.
Right.
Right? You can buy the $70 light bulb, gives off the same amount of light. You just don't have to buy another light bulb for a while. Or buy the regular ones and replace them all the time.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A revealed some menu hacks to upgrade your order. So they're coming out and saying, here's how you hack our menu.
Why don't they just change their menu a little bit and be like, here's our options?
Man, yeah. Like, okay. Why are you making it harder for you?
If you're telling us, right, just make it a menu item.
There you go.
We have a secret thing. You gotta knock and we'll give it to you.
Just put it on the menu.
It's a free lemonade. Three knocks.
Ta-da.
Part of that too is just people think that people love the hack.
They do.
If you're
Right.
called hack or secret right, whatever.
If you do it this way, then you can get 2 chicken patties instead of 1.
It worked for In-N-Out 40 years ago. It's going to work for us now. This is cutting edge.
I found out one of the hacks is when you request it.
Right. There's a farm with unofficially the largest corn maze in the world, which is 110 acres and has 32 miles of pathways.
Wow, when I think fun, I think corn maze.
Yes.
Why don't we ever call them maze?
Right?
You know, that's a good point.
I was even going to say that corn maze is a little redundant, isn't it?
Right.
Damn right.
The
Or maze squares.
I wonder if there's like 15 people that they still can't find.
That's all I want to do. Can I take a basket and get some corn? I don't mind going through a corn maze, but can I just...
For real.
If I'm going to go through a cornfield, I mean, I want to bring some stuff home. Can I get a dozen ears of Silver Queen?
I've enjoyed, this won't shock you, I've enjoyed a corn maze or two in my day.
I don't think I've ever done a corn maze.
I have. They're fun.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a lot taller than you think.
Oh, no, I'm trapped in here.
I'm going to eat my way out.
I'll just follow the people 10 feet in front of me. Corn maze.
It's fun, Miles.
Those are Joey's last
There's
words.
different routes.
Right.
I'll tell you what, smart guy, in October, we'll go to one.
Will we do a hayride or will we walk through?
No, we're going to walk through.
Okay.
I say we all start at a different point and see who gets out first.
There's a lot of them that
That's
do
what
like
I'm saying.
trivia versions.
It's so simple.
I like looking at gourds that look like penises and buying those. I'd rather just look at that table.
Well, then Ted and I will go do the corn maze.
No, I'm taking him, and I'm going to laugh when he gets stuck in
Do
it.
you like a cider? No, I want a beer, actually, to be honest, and a shot.
That's what's going to drive him nuts. There's no bars inside.
There's
the
no
corn
bars
maze,
in there.
So he's going to be halfway through.
Oh, my God. Kids, take these boots off now before we get back in the car. Oh, my God. That's the way those trips go for me.
A new poll asked people to name the top signs of a happy marriage. Top signs.
You're still married?
I mean, that's always my assumption.
No, this is happy. Right. This is happy. It's different.
But that did lead us to...
The Men's Room Top 10.
Oh, no.
The Men's Room Top 10. The top signs of a happy marriage. And probably buying her flowers.
So these are
your finest work, man.
Jesus. So these are your keys to a happy marriage. Number 10, it says being silly with each other.
Well, sure.
Oh, let's be silly.
That's crazy.
My wife tells me I'm silly all the time.
You silly.
I can't
silly
believe
man.
your mom's coming into town. That is so crazy.
It's the same for 3 weeks.
That is so funny.
That's silly.
That's so crazy.
Number 9, being proud of their achievements.
Well, sure.
Right.
All right. Yes.
You mean like being supportive?
Yes.
Right. You said you wanted to do this, and then you achieved this.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy.
Good for you.
I bought this poll 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And it's been 3 days, and the progress is amazing.
Damn. Number 8.
You got a raise. Can I borrow some money? Congratulations. I've got a gambling debt that I never told you. Did you say you got a signing bonus? This is great news.
I'm a gambling debt. I've been keeping it under wraps, but
you got a signing bonus? Is that right?
Number 8, making regular plans together.
But we got a lot of plans. They just fall through all the damn time.
For real.
Kids.
They tell you what the plans are.
You know what? A great thing, man. A lot of phones have a calendar on them. Sync up your calendars together. Put some time down for the 2 years.
I don't do that. My wife has a paper calendar. All right. And it's sitting at the desk in in our office at home. And I'm not kidding you. I never look at it because when you glance at it, every square that represents a day has something written in it. And not all of it involves me, but I'm like, man, I don't want to read this. It stresses me out.
Do you remember when we were celebrating your mom's birthday?
Nope.
At the end of May? Well, I told you that the first weekend in August that we were having dinner with my boss and her partner at her house for their annual barbecue.
You never listened to me. You told me 7 months ago.
When? It was in May? And it's... Oh, God, sorry. Okay, I'll cancel my plans. I told you.
I won't go to the orphanage.
I told you. You said, okay, I'll go. No problem. I don't know what I'm doing in August. I remember you saying that. I have no idea. And so you were committed. You know what?
My bad. You're right.
You're probably right.
You got me. I probably did say that 8 months ago when you brought this up.
But I nodded, right? Okay.
These are the keys to a happy marriage. Number 7, being respectful to them in front of other people.
Again, you should do that with anyone.
Right.
That says you're a decent human being, whether you're married or not. Hey, lady, we're not married. You're ugly as F.
I told him not to wear that shirt. He wore it anyway.
You're short and you're ugly.
Yeah. You're short and you're ugly, but you're not my wife, so I don't care.
I don't care, man.
I mean, who does that?
That is the one.
Some people, look, some people do. I see couples do it all the time. Either she's trashing him or he's trashing her.
Well, sure.
Or making her look like an idiot in front of people or talking trash about him. It's like, right, well, by the time I meet her, I
don't like her.
Right.
Which one am I with?
I like this. It says happily married is an oxymoron, like Lucky Cigarettes.
Number 6, cuddling.
Well, yeah.
Never rule out the power of a good cuddle, man.
Well, until it gets hot out. Then when this heat wave hit, it's like, get the hell away from me.
Yeah. When it gets hot in.
Right.
That suction cup.
Yeah.
Gotta roll away for a minute. I mean, for the night.
Right.
Cuddle for a minute, roll away for the night.
And give each other a quick peck, like, you take that side of the bed, I'm here.
Leg out of the covers. Cool down mode.
I gotta let this breathe.
I was doing that a couple of days ago.
All you need is one leg out.
One leg out?
And then they'll cool you down.
Oh, yeah. Number 5, you let them see you at your best and worst.
They have no choice.
Right.
Because it turns out what I feel is my best, I am often told is me at my worst.
Isn't that kind of part of it? Like, be with you there through the good and the bad.
Look, I'm a really
the morning breath, the bad hair.
You know what you don't understand? I am really good at masturbation. I've never done it in front of you. I know you know nothing about this.
Guys, you know what I'm talking about? Winter leg.
I can.
Winter leg, yes.
Right, you can rub your leg on me and it feels like there's a dude.
You can take a 5-minute shower, and in that time, I can get it done.
I have masturbated, smoked a cigarette, and checked my emails.
Just because I knew that you didn't want to have sex with me later. So I just got it taken care of before we went out tonight.
I just ran the gambit over here.
I knew I could do it.
I could get it done.
That's why I'm sweating so much.
Could you have?
These are the...
I didn't think so.
Damn, somebody here says Vagisil was designed for my wife.
Jesus.
Damn, these are the keys to a happy marriage.
Happy marriage. Positive Friday.
Happy marriage. Number 4, encouraging them to pursue their own hobbies and interests.
Yeah. Wait, does it involve me? Yeah, man, go do that.
Right, go have fun.
Right.
Enjoy doing that.
I'll
over
stop
there.
turning up the volume on the football game if you go pursue your own interest or hobby.
I'll even close the door to give you your privacy.
Exactly. You know what? I'm just going to go in the basement with a 6-pack of beer because I want you, because I love you, baby. I'm just going to watch this football game. I won't bother you for 9 hours.
Friday night, would you mind if I... No! Go do him.
Go.
I don't care. We can date other people. Go!
Right.
See you say Friday night's cool. Thank God. Yes. I was just going to go out with my friends for dinner, but thanks. No, seriously. Go out with whoever
you know what?
Want.
You make it a girl's weekend.
Whoever you want to go out with. I don't care if he takes you to Vegas.
Number 3.
I mean, look, I've been in that one too. Like, if you have your own interests, we don't have to do everything together.
We really don't.
There you go.
And trust me, you'll get sick of me.
Number 3.
Yeah, right.
Totally. I already get on your nerves. Do you really want to do this with me?
You know what my pet peeve is, and this has nothing to do with relationships. I don't want to work out with you.
No.
Like, unless it's a workout that involves, like, me hitting bags and you're holding them, like, it's just odd. We're both in the gym. Like, why?
Just remember, it takes me longer. I run slower to begin with. It's okay, baby. I don't have to keep. We're not running a race.
Number 3, feeling like you can be yourself with them.
Again, yeah.
That should be kind of a prerequisite before you make that
They
leap
should
there.
know you better than anyone else.
Right. Number 2.
They should.
These people are decent people. I work with them, so when we go there, no cussing. Could you not be you?
Oh, yeah, I'm always like F that.
So that's true, but just remember, like, okay, these are my friends, and they are actually like morally like normal people, unlike you. So when we go there, I would really appreciate if you didn't talk about smoking weed and drinking and the things that you do.
Well, you're gonna be upset.
Could you just please just act like you're normal?
Number 2.
I used to get that conversation. No, I don't. I'm like, man, I don't care. F your friends. They'll be fine.
I mean, could you one last F-bomb, all right?
Taking care of each other when you're sick.
No, I leave the house.
I don't want anyone around me when I'm sick. I'm one of those people who are like, please go away. I just like, you'll get sick too. Like, there's nothing you can do. If I need to go to the hospital, then yes, I'll
right.
But other than that,
I just need to sleep this out.
I need to sweat.
Oh, I'm a little baby. You want to bring me some Gatorade and soup? Please do.
Help me out.
I'm dying.
And if you weren't going to do that, could you?
Yeah, exactly.
I like how Ted does it. If you want to bring me Gatorade and soup, well, I don't. No, but if you do, I'm like chicken noodle progressive.
When you change your mind to the right answer.
How'd you know my brand?
When you correct yourself, yes, I will take that Gatorade and soup.
Yeah. Remember last time you brought me those popsicles because I had a sore throat? The fruit ones? Those are really good.
They're at Safeway. They're on sale.
Do they come without the orange?
Actually, it's the lime one that sucks. Strawberry and raspberry, dope.
Yeah, if it ain't red, don't give it to me.
All right, just pull them out of the box first.
This is the number one key to a happy marriage. Popsicles.
No, I want to watch you eat it.
Spending lots of quality time together.
I know what that time is.
Yeah.
Quality time.
So we replay the VD bit.
Quality time.
We need 3 minutes of quality time, Mama.
Well, can we just real quick a little quality time? No?
Just some quality time.
No, I mean...
little QT.
Like, I swear it won't take long.
No, we don't need candle quality time.
Why are you lighting the candle? I don't plan on taking that long.
That way I can get
it's the scented candle because it's about to get stinky.
Because it's the summer.
Right. I just want to get a big plate of pasta for dinner, and then I know I'll be tired. So,
a train in the UK was delayed for more than an hour for the most unlikely reason.
What was that?
Tell you about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines aren't coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to contest online for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been struggling with his CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is trying to contain her rage.
Michelle throws an elbow.
She's leaving for the couch.
Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with his CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
And she's leaving for the couch. Taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, the podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
All right, we made it drink it time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today, we toast several unidentified tourists visiting Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Now, these particular guests, they were in the Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland, home of one of Disney's most inexplicably popular attractions, It's a Small World. Believe it or not, it was an opening day ride that they had, opened in 1971, and became an instant hit. Well, this past Saturday, the ride broke down, stranding the riders for over an hour. In fact, the only part of the ride that continued to operate was the song, It's a Small World After All. That played over and over and over and over for over an hour while these people were trapped in their boats. One of the people that was stuck in one of the boats described the situation as, and I quote, torture. To me,
straight up torture.
That is my ultimate nightmare. Of all, like, there's a lot. You could be stuck on a Ferris wheel. You could be stuck on a roller coaster upside down for an hour. But if you say, dude, you're just stuck listening to It's a Small World After All, inside of the ride for an hour, I would get homicide.
I will say this about that ride. In Anaheim at Disneyland, it is a very short ride. However, it's slow.
Right.
It is the best air-conditioned ride in the park. So the reason that you get on that ride is not because of the song. You get on it because it gives you 5 minutes to seriously cool down to be able to go and stand in line for an hour somewhere else.
Not worth it.
I've never been on it.
I'm not kidding you.
I can't do it. It's not worth it.
Like, even, I told you, even like my uncle, like, he was like, once my kids got old enough, they didn't ask, like, never go on it.
Actually, you know what? That's not true. I've been on it once at Disneyland in Anaheim. And
Were you a kid?
I was, in fact, a child.
There you
and
go.
The way that they set it up, I remember this now. Outside of the ride, there was kind of like a tube or something, and they showed a projection of the people that were on the ride, but they looked like they were miniature people, and they played that. So still, no, I hated the song as a child. Anyway, so we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happens right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. All right, Justin, you understand how this here game is played?
Hey, sure do, Drill.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories, The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Ted, what are you feeling?
My leg at the moment.
Drugs.
Ted was not answering your question. Ted was just making a statement.
Sorry. I was way too excited.
Yeah, I know.
Let's do it, man.
All right, Justin.
It's a weekday. Who cares?
Here's your story. A well-known criminal has been jailed for nearly 4 years after blowing $50,000 of his COVID bounce-back loan all on drugs before he was finally arrested in a high-speed car chase. Serial crook one Lewis Maxwell, 35 years old. He claimed the money through the whatever COVID bounce-back scheme to help his tow truck business survive through the lockdown. Well, he was described in court as having, quote, an extreme drug addiction. He used less than half the money to buy a new truck, and then he spent the rest on Class A drugs. Now, he later sold the truck and then used the cash from the sale to buy more drugs. His lawyer, Carl Williams, described it as the most extreme addiction to drugs that I've ever come across. So Maxwell owned the Mr. Tow Recovery Logistics business and a place called Gwent, using a Jeep Cherokee and a trailer, despite not being legally allowed to drive himself. Keep in mind, he owns a tow truck company. He's not legally allowed to drive. Anyway, the court heard that he led police on a high-speed chase through the city. Finally, he stopped when his tires were shredded by one of those devices. And when the police approached him, he had drugs on him. Anyway, he has 17 previous convictions for 52 offenses, which include a burglary, dangerous driving, and, of course, drugs. So the question is, what is the drug that he is so addicted to that he spends all of his money on? Is it heroin, meth, crack, or oxys?
Where was this?
This is somewhere in England. I'm not sure. If it helps, he's in Newport, Gwent, UK. Heroin, meth, crack, or oxys?
Justin, I'm going to go meth.
Meth, huh?
I know nothing about drugs in England.
I'm kind of leaning crack just because freaking UK.
They seem to be able to get their hands on a lot of cocaine.
Yeah. You know what? I'm with them. I think they're rocking it up.
You want crack?
Crack cocaine.
Okay, Justin, you sticking with Ted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to find out what this guy had. Heroin, meth, crack, or oxys next.
That was a tease.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with this CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
And she's leaving for the couch. Taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Chili Peppers tonight, T-Mobile. Yeah. We're going to grab a beer at Elysian Fields. You want to stop by and grab a beer with us. That's basically all it is. Just grabbing a beer, hanging out.
Yeah, no event.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to grab 2 beers.
2?
Maybe 3.
I'll see how many I can fit in before they start. That's generally how it goes.
Okay. I'm not even going to the show. I might just walk down and grab a couple pints.
Why not, man?
Men's Room Original Ale for the Fisher House. Why not stop by and have a beer with us? You know what I mean?
Do it. Even if you're not going to the show.
Ryan Castle's already down there. I believe Taryn's heading down.
Taryn's down there.
And
some of my buddies are down there.
Ryan Castle's handiwork. He was graffitiing the sidewalks of Soto, I believe.
He's like, should we get a table? And we're like, yeah.
If you want to sit down.
Should we invite people? We're like, yeah. They're going to be down there.
If we didn't have a table, I wouldn't just casually be like, I'll just walk down for a giant concert. I assume it'll be crowded.
Hopefully we have a corporate card.
Well, we have Castles.
Categories of drugs on profile. This we got a tow truck driver and owner of a place, I guess, kind of quote-unquote owner.
Yeah.
Extreme drug addiction led police on a high-speed chase. He was in possession of drugs, obviously, when they busted him. Question is, over in England, was it heroin, meth, crack, or oxys?
Justin, that is the very question that we posed to you, but let us begin with the very old Miles Montgomery. He said methamphetamine.
I do not know my English drugs, apparently. I know they love Coke, but I thought that was only on holiday.
Oh, no.
Okay. All the time.
It's massive.
Right.
And crack, of course, a derivative of cocaine, or you might say a derivative of bleach, or you might say a derivative of Windex. Either way, Justin, you agreed with E. Ted Smith and went crack.
Nice.
Oh! I will say this.
It's more economical.
You don't need hair product if you smoke crack. My buddy Bernie, who lived below me in the apartment, his hair was always just out and windblown, and it looked like that he just got back from a windstorm. Sort of guy, it's just
that's got to store your cat, right?
This windswept hair, yeah. And I think that crack does that. Like you have a fan on you all the time.
You know, you make a good point. I've seen meth addicts whose hair looks okay. Granted, they never have sleeves on. But something about crack, like, what is going on with your hair?
It is amazing what it does.
Like everyone, if you're a black dude, you look like Frederick
I'm
Douglass.
not kidding. Yes, I'm serious.
If you're a white dude, you look like Einstein.
It shoots the hair straight out.
Frederick Douglass.
It's like
first brother to smoke crack.
Crack is like a hair straightener. I don't know what is going on.
Come on, Ted, it's all right.
If you have curls,
he like peanuts and crack.
You flattened out.
That's why his hair look like that.
Now for all TV news all time for TV Time with Ted.
Yes, it is. That's a good thing. Hey, sometimes it happens, man, you know?
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
No, Mike, I'm on your side. I forgot it every day.
Thought you were giving me grief, Ted.
All right, you got Seth Meyers. The Jimmies.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Writers.
Okay. Oh, look out. Hold on.
A busy day today.
Indeed, sir.
Mm-hmm. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title always guys have teams of talented writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Chris Rock has stayed pretty quiet about getting smacked on stage by Will Smith, which is a complete opposite of Will and Jada, who have told the whole world their business for the last 5 years.
The Ted Smith.
Absolutely.
Damn, how'd you know?
Because it's the truth.
Yeah. It is dead on truth.
It's not even a joke.
Right. It's not a joke.
Like, just
maybe it's funny, but you're not kidding.
Why are you doing this? The kids have grown up. Isn't that what you wait for? Just wait for them to be 18, right?
Amazon just started offering same-day deliveries from mall stores like PacSun, Diesel, and GNC. It's big news that Diesel is still in business, but deliveries from Diesel, PacSun, and apparently 2007.
Riders.
Ted Smith.
Fallon.
Amazon just started offering same-day deliveries from mall stores like Diesel, PacSun, and GNC. That's right. It's big news. Diesel is still in business. Yeah, they're making deliveries from Diesel, PacSun, and apparently 2007.
I still shop at Diesel after I leave Von Dutch.
Do you go to Jordache first or no?
No.
Remember they had their own store for a while.
They did.
And now they don't.
Kardashians and, who's the guy from, what's his name? Kushner. Or no, I'm sorry, Ashton Kutcher.
Kutcher, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, he was the guy who, pushed that stuff.
But, yeah, because they paid him to.
Made them a ton of money.
Ashton Kutcher, to his credit, he was like, to me, if I think of trucker hats being cool again, it's because of him.
Somehow he made that happen, yeah.
Tiger Woods turned down an $800 million offer from the Saudi-backed Live Golf Tour. Last time Tiger lost $800 million was when he dropped his wallet.
Myers.
Fallon.
Tiger Woods turned down an $800 million offer to join the Saudi-backed Live Golf Tournament. Wow. He turned them down. Last time Tiger lost $800 million is when he dropped his wallet.
Tiger also used to take millions from him to go play tournaments over there.
Right. Keep in mind. But now the people are paying attention. That small detail.
Over 100,000 pounds of frozen P.F. Chang meals have been recalled because they were mislabeled as food.
What? P.F. Chang's is
Seth
good.
Myers.
Yes, Seth. That seems foul.
Hey guys, I saw that over 100,000 pounds of frozen P.F. Chang's meals were recalled because they were mislabeled as food.
I like P.F. Chang.
I do too.
I do as well.
I don't care if it's made out of squirrel and sawdust.
I mean,
it's great. You do it well.
Dude, it's green beans.
Right.
It's grilled green beans.
Yeah, I haven't been to one in a while. But yeah, I always like P.F. Chang's. It was fancy.
Yeah.
Green beans.
It's real food.
Our friend P.S. Chang is back. That's true.
Just hawking huge loads, man.
God.
So Jeopardy.
It's not easy.
I know. I mean, I feel like the hair is standing up on my arm.
We cannot tell you why we have nicknamed this person P.S. Chang. And she's not Asian. It's nothing like that. It's worse than that. Wow. But she's just such a vile creature. And, but, no one's been here for like 2 years. And in about the last 6 weeks, people started coming back. And I went out to smoke. Miles has not been smoking. I came back up in the elevator.
100 days,
dude.
100 days.
She's back. And it's as disgusting as ever.
So Jeopardy, everybody knows. Jesus. Right. So Jeopardy, you stay on when you're the champion, right?
Correct.
There's the Ken Jennings of the world. Who was the guy that beat Ken Jennings? I should have written that down.
I keep forgetting these people.
Jeopardy James. That's what they called him. Can't remember his last name. But now they're actually going to have a second chance tournament of 18 players who can compete for a spot in the Tournament of Champions.
Is this based on how well you did or how close you came, say, when you were playing for real?
Correct.
Okay. Miles with the updated version.
This is what they're playing now.
This is NES. That's so updated. I'm so hip to the now.
I'll tell you what, though, like, all those, like, techno games not techno, like, old games.
Yeah.
And nerds are so popular, they could probably use this.
You know what? You're right.
When people would like it.
Minutes, they can take it. Okay, continue.
But yeah, that's kind of cool, and that's a different little twist on Jeopardy.
It's good, man. And I will say this: Alex Trebek died. People mourned, and you go, "Who's going to replace him?" To their credit, Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik, believe I said the name correctly. I think they've both been outstanding hosts.
Jeopardy's still a great thing.
It really is.
I mean, Bob Barker is still alive.
But it's
but ultimately,
time to move on, right?
Yeah, no, but the show's still good. I mean, Price is Right is still a good show.
I have not seen it with Drew Carey. Honest to God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really have.
It's great.
Well, right, because you work.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like,
you have a job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was always the thing. I always say this, but like when you were a kid, like to me, it was like something secret. Like it was like you had a sick day. There was some.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Right. Whatever the reason was, you were actually at home to watch Prices,
and
right?
You watched it.
Right. So
have
I think
your kids figured out you're still going to work in the summer?
Every day. I mean, no, well, they know I'm going to work, but again, even this morning, Walk into the kids' rooms. Hey, give me a hug, because that's the rule, right? You have to go to work. I'm like, yes, it's Wednesday. Just like I did yesterday and on Monday. Yes, I'm going to. When does your dad get out of bed early to do anything other than catch a plane or go to work?
Are they still waiting for you to get on summer vacation? Is that what this is?
Yes. I think they're under this impression that that's what happens. And I'm like, no, man, like this
Also,
is your thing.
When I was growing up, I had to get a job.
Right.
Summer job.
They're still too young. When they get there, like, yep, you're getting up with dad.
What the hell?
Yeah, and this is the time of year that I remember we'd always like take a vacation because we always played so many sports, especially baseball, that ran pretty late into July.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, man, we had to go to the funeral on the East Coast this past weekend, and the original idea is they have some cousins in Philly. We said, look, we're not going to be closer than being in D.C., we'll keep the kids there for like a week, let them see their cousins. This will be fantastic. And my wife texted me at work and said, if we take all four of us, 4 people, it will cost $6,000. I said, well, who do you want to watch the kids while we're away? There is,
because it's way cheaper than that.
There's no chance I'm spending, and I feel bad.
Or just bringing microwave meals and say, guys, just
you're on your own.
And give us a call.
You're on your own. Take the dog out. $6,000
Don't put me
for
in
4
jail
of us.
so no one finds out you're here alone.
Yeah, and that's honestly
your
why.
only goal.
But they are going to Great Wolf Lodge in a couple of weeks. My wife said, ooh, I'm thinking about taking them for like 2 or 3 days. I said, okay.
She said, no, don't go?
No, she said, do you want to go? I said, are you goddamn kidding me? Hell no, I don't want to go. That's the last thing.
Because you're scared of wolves.
Yeah, I'm scared of wolves. That's what I told her. So she's taking them like midweek. I'm like, okie dokie. And like I told Mike today, I'm ordering Indian food and Greek food. Because she won't eat either. I just want a goddamn euro.
If you're,
I'm taking masala. That's all I want to do. Why?
Middle of the week is
so
cost
difficult?
efficient.
If you're lonely and you want to go out and get a beer, I'll be your friend.
We'll see what happens, man. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Did anybody here ever watch Everybody Hates Chris?
I didn't, and
I saw a couple.
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Now, granted, I'm a Terry Crews fan, so like he was great as the dad and this and that. But Everybody Loves Chris. It was a pretty good show.
They cut that quick too. Like it was canceled really, really fast.
Yeah, it seemed like he was only like 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It's a struggle sometimes too now because like All American, right? That started out, I want to say, on CW. And that got a second life because of Netflix, so it's thriving now. But like shows like Everybody Hates Chris, like I wonder, like sometimes on those smaller networks, I don't think they get as long. Like I wonder if that had gone over to Netflix, if they'd still be making it. But it predates, I think, Netflix the way we know it now.
Probably not still, but it would have run longer.
So Chris Rock is coming back with a reimagined version of that
biographical
comedy.
Just saying it for you, goddammit.
Basically, look, everybody still hates Chris, but this time it's going to be animated.
Okay.
Right? So everybody hates Chris. Now everybody still hates him, but he's animated.
Everybody still hates Chris.
No release date yet, but it'll be on Paramount Plus and Comedy Central. And we're right. Yeah, the first one ran for 4 seasons. So we'll see about that. Then a little bit of sad news. If you're a sports fan, you know how much like the local voice, whether it's in Seattle, you watch a Seahawks game or listen to it in your car, Steve Rabel's voice.
Yep, without a doubt.
Right? Like I grew up with Sonny, Sam, and Frank. Like everybody has those guys. So Vince Scully, he was the Dodgers play-by-play guy, but makes some of the most memorable calls in baseball history. Here's 2 of them, and you'll recognize his voice right away.
So the winning run is at second base with 2 out. 3-2 to Mookie
Mets
Wilson.
and the Red Sox.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. But the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the voice of baseball. Outside of what?
Harry Carey. I'm trying to think who would be on that level. I think Vin Scully from a play-by-play.
I think you said Harry Carey and you're done.
So Harry Carey he wasn't really the play-by-play guy, was he?
He was, but I don't remember Harry Carey doing, like he always kind of did a national game because WGN was national.
Right.
Scully, that's a World Series game, the first clip you heard between the Red Sox and Mets,
so
that he would get called up to do.
Jack Buck. Joe's dad.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah, with-
Buck
with
is
the
probably one of
Cardinals.
those voices.
KMOX. That was a pretty good stick. Man, that's top. He's top 3 of all time.
Easily. Man.
Arguably number 1.
Yeah, the only other person I could think of being so iconic with a sport is maybe back in the day, like Marv Albert with basketball.
Okay, but Bob Prince in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's a small market, so
Right, but even with that, right? Because when you talk football, you had Pat Summerall, but like everybody remembered John Madden.
John Madden, sure.
I think Scully is probably the biggest play-by-play guy of all time. Don't get me wrong. Bob Costas, Joe Buck, they've all called great games. This guy's been doing this his entire life.
No.
He called Hank Aaron's home run.
There's a difference, though. Bob Costas calls a good game because Bob Costas is very professional, but he never made you more excited about the game. Where Vin Scully truly painted a picture of the game that's going. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Bob Costas does excellent at his job, but you're not painting a picture. I'm watching. You do good commentary on what I'm watching. Vin Scully, you're not watching this. You're listening to this. I can paint the picture. There's a huge difference.
I heard clips of him calling golf and stuff, and it's amazing because it's like he just had such a simple way of kind of like describing the sport, and it's like it's an old school clip. This guy just can't get out of this bunker. The walls are too high, and he's like, he would cry, but he's too old, so he smiles, tries to laugh it off.
Miller in San Francisco.
Johnny Miller's another massive one. Like
Joe Miller.
Sorry, right, Johnny Miller. But when he left to do just San Francisco Giants game, I remember being like, "Damn!" Like I miss listening to his voice on
Sunday Night Baseball.
Right, he was the man. But also, I think it's cool that baseball you could still get away with that. And we know this industry's tough, but it's kind of like the baseball guys. Like he's like, "Nah, I'm good with the national games. I just want to hang out in San Fran and call Giants games
and live in Monterey and play golf."
Right. Yeah, that's a tough life.
Oh boy. Okay, I'll do that then.
All right, what are we going to pick for the last song? The last Chili Pepper song.
What do you want coming up next?
I took Suck My Kiss.
Mike and I came up with one.
All right, Montgomery, it's yours.
Is it me?
No, we already picked them.
I'll figure it out.
All right.
We'll come back. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna play
if you don't like it, it's mine.
Yeah, I'm going to play a different song.
Dude, literally, Suck My Kiss.
Suck it. Suck it.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with this CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
And she's leaving for the couch. Taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Friendly's Restaurant is doing you a solid with its new items on its happy ending menu. Meanwhile, a Brazilian bodybuilder is dead at age 55 after injecting himself with goo. Man uses Kevin Deere's hemorrhoid cream to break out of jail. Shut up. Man swimming in ocean stumbles upon something birthed by the man of Dale from his butt. And Surrey says do not rub one out if you're in Australia in a car. Time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Top story, we go to the UK where a train had a bit of a delay. Commuters were forced to endure a delay of more than 1 hour after a giant tortoise was found stuck on the tracks.
I mean, stuck. Go get his ass off.
Well, he's a turtle, man. After a while, he can't get up and over the track. Let's see. Crews attempted to remove the animal, but it was simply too heavy to move. He was just that big. Due to that and the fact that the animal was injured, they were forced to wait for professionals to tend to the tortoise, which had managed to escape from the local wildlife center.
How does a tortoise escape?
Thank you. I mean,
I'm out of here.
That means you have a Looney Tunes style security detail that's just falling asleep at the wheel, man. A doggone tortoise was able to escape. Think about that for a second.
Like, come on, man.
That's like saying, oh no, we lost our giant slug.
I do like a giant slug.
They are pretty neat.
If I don't step on it, like a Lego.
Have you seen...
In bare feet. But you look down and you're like, wow, look at you, man.
Have you seen that? I think it's like a giant crazy. African slug or something like that.
Is that the colorful one?
If you cooked them in butter...
giant black one.
Oh, no.
If you cooked them in butter, would they be delicious as a snail?
Doesn't matter. I will not eat it.
I wouldn't eat it, but yes.
Yard slug, you wouldn't eat it?
Nope.
No. I'm good.
I'd try it.
I would too.
I would try it, but I guarantee I won't like it.
Okay.
I guarantee I won't like it.
I mean, look, you cook anything, saute anything in butter, and I'll probably try it.
Right, salt and butter. That's what we need. In other news, in Australia, a council worker walking about a local park noticed a delivery car that was parked in a place that it didn't belong and took it upon themselves to let the driver know that they needed to move. They got to the window and indeed did find the driver inside, but were shocked to find that the man was actually abusing himself inside of the car.
He was not abusing himself.
Is that abuse?
Yeah, that is abuse.
Well, then abuse. No wonder.
He was punching the clown. The man was taken to court on charges which could lead him to being put on a sex offenders list, and due to him being a foreign worker, could face deportation due to the act.
That is it.
You might get deported because you were masturbating in a car.
Though his lawyers are arguing that he's a low risk of reoffending. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say that masturbating anywhere in public-ish is a good idea. The man was in his own car. Uh-huh. He probably went to a secluded spot.
He did.
At the park.
Someone came over.
He went down under.
Right. He didn't masturbate in front of anybody. You came over to his spot.
You walked to his car to see what he was doing.
Right.
He happened to be masturbating.
So again, I'm not going to make excuses for the guy other than to say,
it's not like the people
he doesn't deserve this.
It's not like the people in the parking lot at Green Lake who watch people run by and do it.
Right.
Right. They're just sitting there.
Are you deporting them from Seattle?
Like, he didn't surprise this poor person.
It's the oldest Ford F-150 in the lot. He
just needed to do a little five-knuckle shuffle all by himself. We're all good. We go to Brazil for some sad news. The man known as the Brazilian Hulk has unfortunately passed away at the age of 55 on his birthday, no less. He succumbed to his addiction of injecting lethal doses of synthol into his body in order to augment the size of his biceps and pecs. Yeah.
You didn't need to.
You really didn't.
I mean, he was already built, man.
That's right. But that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
More Men's Room up next. Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app. We'll see you there.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we'll be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Welcome to the CPAP Games live from the Hayes bedroom. It's another eventful night, Bruce.
It sure is, Ron. Steve has been flailing everywhere, struggling with this CPAP.
His wife, Michelle, is as tense as a fiddle string, trying to contain her rage.
Michelle's rolling Steve over.
There he goes, and the mask is off. Oh, my, the snoring.
Michelle throws an elbow, now a shove.
And she's leaving for the couch. Taking her place is the Hayes' 100-pound lab. Bask in that dog breath, Steve.
With all this struggle, Steve should get Inspire.
Absolutely, Bruce. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. There's no mask and no hose. Just sleep.
Learn more at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.